Welcome in, everybody, to a very special, very massive edition of the Dread broadcast. Whether you are joining us live in the chat or catching the replay later on YouTube, we are incredibly glad you're here because today marks a pretty big milestone for us. We are officially 1 year old. So, yay. When this broadcast first started, the vision was simple. We wanted to build a sanctuary, a place where it doesn't matter if you live for the 1980s slasher practical effects, the deep cut indie psychological thrillers, the vintage creature features, or the darkest corners of horror literature. Our goal from day one has been to break down the walls of gatekeeping and bring lovers of horror, no matter the niche, together. If it creeps, crawls, or bleeds, it has a home here. But a vision is just a dream without people tuning in. So before we dive into the chaos today, I want to say a massive, heartfelt thank you to every single one of you who has made this year possible. From the incredible community in the chat every month, to people sharing episodes, leaving comments, keeping the spirit of physical media and storytelling alive. Thank you. And to our phenomenal regular contributors, co-hosts, and behind-the-scenes champions who pour their hearts, their notes, and cinematic obsessions into the show to help it grow. This year belongs to you. We have a massive celebration lined up, a killer lineup of topics, and a roundtable that is stacked with talent to help ring in year two. So let's not keep them waiting in the wings any longer. Please welcome the panel for today's anniversary episode. We'll start with our regulars and then introduce our special guest. So Kelsey from Kelsey's Nostalgic Life, say hello.
Hello. No.
Beautiful. Perfect.
Say hello. Great. Okay, I will. Yeah, I like nostalgic stuff. I like horror and shit, and that's it. You can find me on YouTube at Kelsey's Nostalgic Life. And I'm so happy to be here. 1 year? How has it been that long already? It's awesome.
I know that was crazy when I was putting this together, and I was like, man, we started this in May of last year, and our guest at that time was, I still don't know how I got him to do it, Nick Roberts, indie author Nick Roberts. So we have another author joining us to celebrate the 1 year. So then we have Jillian, a regular who, this is your first time as a regular. Jillian, welcome.
Yes, thanks for having me. I think this is my first time in 2026, which is so sad, but so happy to be here. I'm Jillian, aka Rated Horror, everywhere, mostly on TikTok and Instagram, and I mostly just do horror movie reviews and recommendations, so make sure to follow.
And then we have Tony and Elise from the Gutted Horror podcast.
Hello. Thanks for having us back. I'm Tony.
Absolutely.
I'm Elise.
And if you couldn't figure that out, we're Gutted Horror Podcast. We do horror movie reviews. We're on YouTube. We're on Instagram, TikTok, all kinds of other places. Yeah.
Happy anniversary.
Oh, thank you. We love you both. Thank you for being here. I don't want to say our very own, but we have Jessica Lacey here, who you're still celebrating a month of Fatally Yours, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How's that going? I left my coffee downstairs.
I've had multiple romance novelists message me to tell me how much they like it. That's really freaking weird.
That is awesome.
And they introduce themselves. Hi, I'm USA Today bestselling author, and then they tell me their genre, and I'm like, is that really okay? But that's what's been going on. Apparently, Fatally Yours. People outside the horror genre are very, very into it. So I did my job well because that was my intention.
Really breaking down those walls between genres and bringing people together. I love that.
I wrote it for a friend of mine who reads romance, and I was like, this is close enough. This is fine. She'll love this. And she does. So.
Yeah. And Aaron will be joining us later today. I know Aaron is usually here, and he's doing an interview right now. And when that interview wraps up, he will be hopping in. So we will be saving our this or that warm up for later, unfortunately. And that covers our regulars. But a 1 year anniversary deserves something. Sean. Sean,
I was suddenly
from
like,
the
is
Horror
my
Vision.
camera off?
Yell at me, man. No, Sean.
You got demoted. Regular.
Forgive me.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I'm Sean. I'm from the Horror Vision. I'm an author, and the Horror Vision's kind of, we call it the back of the horror bus. No softballs. We call them like we see them, but we love the genre. We love everything. I mean, not everything, obviously, but yeah, I'm so happy to be back. I'm so happy to be a regular and happy to be here with y'all.
And we do love having you, even though I brain farted on the introduction. I apologize. But a 1-year anniversary deserves something extra special. Tonight, we are thrilled to be joined by the phenomenal writer and a USA Today bestselling author, the brilliant mind behind Curse of the Reaper, and the incredible horror novel Breathe In, Breathe Out, the one and only Brian McAuley. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Thank you so much for having me. This is such an honor, and May was such a big month for horror, so it's an extra honor to have so much to talk about with everybody.
You came at a good time.
Yes, it was a massive month, and we will get into that. And Brian, I just have to start off by, I read Curse of the Reaper shortly after its release, and it had me in a chokehold. I think it was my favorite book of the year, and I read it in a solid 20, like probably 2 sittings. It was maybe 2 days, 2 sittings. I'm not sure, but I ripped through that book. It is so good. I've read everything but the second Candy Cane Kills so far.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
That means so much to me.
Same.
Yeah.
I've read it all except for the second Candy Cane Kills. I just finished Breathe In, Bleed Out this week, and it was awesome. And I gotta say, the author's note at the end made it even better. When
Yes.
you talked about like how you discovered your love of horror and like the inspiration behind some of the parts of it. I love that. That added extra to it. So it was perfect ending to the book, was getting that little afterword after.
Thank you. No, that means so much to me. Yeah, it was an opportunity, I thought, to kind of like connect with readers and share a little bit about who I am and what my journey with horror was. And so many readers have shared in response their kind of coming to horror story. And I love hearing how different people, especially from different generations, found their way into it. And it's the best. It's a big cozy blanket. So thank you.
I love it. And so those of you in the chat who are excited that Brian is here, we're excited that Brian is here. And we will be doing an interview with him later on this month. So keep your eyes peeled for that. It will be another live stream interview. So we may or may not take questions from the people in the comments. We'll see. But we will be doing that. We have that to look forward to coming later this month. But honestly, we are living in the best timeline for the genre right now. The box office this month is insane. We are watching 2 of the youngest directors in the business completely conquer the House of Mouse at the box office. Original visceral horror is taking the crown from the multi-billion-dollar machine, and the audiences are loving it. So the genre is thriving at the moment. And before we get into the box office and all that, we need to go back to the beginning of the month and talk about a haunted Irish hotel. So who caught Hokum?
Me.
All right, I did not. So you guys take it away. What'd you think of Hokum?
I loved it. I was pleasantly surprised. I went in thinking one thing and expecting one thing, and it kind of flipped it on its head. I would say it had like thriller vibes as well, but I don't think that's a detriment to it at all. I just really liked it. I thought, the main character wasn't likable, but you got to understand him as the film went on, and I thought that added to it a lot. So I liked it. It was different, and I think that was my favorite of the movies that I saw for this podcast for the month. So spoiler,
Wow.
but I didn't like Obsession that much. I'm sorry. We'll talk about it later.
Ooh.
Sorry.
Just fighting words.
I know, everyone's gonna hate me after, so. But I loved Hokum. I really liked it. I gave it like a 4.5 star. What did everyone else think?
Kelsey, I agree with you about the main character. It was interesting that he was so unlikable, but I thought that made him a very interesting character to watch. That kind of like complex character where we we start off like really not rooting for him, but then as the movie goes along, you start to understand him more, and he doesn't change who he is really. Even like, you know, in the end, he still is like who he is, but you're like, okay, I get him now, I understand him. So I thought it was a really well done character. I don't know. Character. Period.
Yeah, I feel like especially the casting of Adam Scott is what made that work so well, because I was like, oh yes, I want to go see Adam Scott in a horror movie. He's like so funny and charming. And then from the very first scene, you're like, what an ass. Like he's so mean and selfish but that made it all the better because you're just compelled by like, what is going on with this dude? And I think Damien McCarthy as a director is so wildly talented. Like his films have such vision, and the genre blending of like mixing human monsters with supernatural elements, he does that so well. Yeah,
and I would say that while he didn't come to us with anything that was like super new or unique, the things that he did it really well. Like there was one particular jump scare in the movie that really got me, and I was just like, I really enjoyed it as well. Just and I'm not a fan of Adam Scott at all. Just like, you know, everyone has their actor who everyone has their actor who, or their person who they're just like, I can't stand that person. For me, Adam Scott is one of those people, but I did really enjoy him in this role. I thought it was perfect for him, and I agree with what everyone else said. And I loved the movie. I thought it was a great movie.
Yeah, there are several really good jump scares.
Now I'm curious, because jump scare of the month to me goes to Obsession. I don't normally react to jump scare, but I jumped out of my seat in Obsession. So
I would say Hokum had crazier ones. Yeah.
Really?
But it also is legitimately frightening. Like, you know, jump scares, they work, and I don't know, like, it's really hard to scare an adult in 2026 because what's the movie going to offer that reality doesn't, you know? I mean, but I thought there's a sequence, like, without saying spoilers, that starts with him in a basement where the recorder goes off and then ends with him on, like, drawing a circle around a bed. I thought that whole sequence was legitimately terrifying, and I don't remember the last time a movie made me feel like actual sustained fear instead of, and then it also had great jump scares, you know, so that was really something.
Yeah.
I felt the exact same way.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jillian. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I feel the exact same way. I feel like every jump scare was so earned. Like, they were just terrifying. And I feel like I truly was on the edge of my seat in the movie theater. Just some of those scares, like we said, like, you know, it's things we've seen before, but just the way they were done and pulled off. Like, that one sequence, I genuinely was like, when is this going to end? I can't take it anymore because it was so intense. And I feel like the discourse on Adam Scott is interesting too, because my one critique of the movie was how rude his character was. And I just like couldn't wrap my head around it. Cause I'm like, you can have like childhood trauma and like not be a jerk. Like some of the things he did were just like so extreme to me that I was just like, what? Like
the tape recorder?
Call the police.
With the bellhop, that was just unbelievable, right?
Just
can't read a room.
Like, why? And then he was still kind of a jerk later on in the movie too. When you thought there'd be like a little more of a redemption.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit much as well. You're not crazy.
Exactly. And I feel like if it had been someone casted who was maybe like not as well known as Adam Scott, like I feel like people maybe wouldn't have liked the movie as much. Because a lot of people, besides Tony, like Adam Scott. And so I feel like it makes you like kind of feel a connection to the character already. But if it had been someone we didn't really know, it would have been like, okay, like this guy's just a jerk.
Yeah, I think that's actually a great point, because I think I would have been a little more critical of the main character, even though he had trauma and reasons. But like you said, it's like not just the only good reason to be a dick. Like, come on. So yeah, I think that's a great point.
I'm curious to hear, like, you guys are persuasive. I particularly didn't make the drive to go see Hokum because I didn't like Oddity, and I didn't like what is the other one? Caveat. I didn't like either of those. So to somebody who might have been like, It's not that they were terrible. I actually appreciated his direction on them. I just thought they were kind of boring, honestly. But to somebody who thought that, what is the selling point on this movie? I mean, I'm hearing great things about it, but what is the difference between this and some of his previous work?
If you don't like his style, I don't know that it'll be for you. I mean, this probably is maybe the most accessible of his movies, but I don't know. I mean, he's got a very specific style. Like,
well,
you know,
I like his
Brian
visual
mentioned.
style.
Yeah.
His visual
Yeah.
style, but like Brian mentioned, he does that thing where it's like the movies are like 70% human monster, and you know, like Caveat and Oddity are both great examples of that. And then you get the supernatural that kind of comes in on the back end. It's there, but this is maybe a little bit more supernatural. It is. It's definitely more supernatural. But I mean, I would say see it, but I don't know that it's going to bowl you over. I don't know if it's going to put you on Team McCarthy. So
Yeah,
I think,
I think that's why.
pacing... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I think that's why I didn't make the 40-minute drive to the theater for this one, is specifically because of my experience with those other movies. Even though I heard great things about this, I am looking forward to catching it when it's on streaming. I didn't see if it was already, but I am looking forward to catching it because I've heard such great things about it. And I don't mind a slow movie. I just didn't think the payoff in his movies were worth the journey, basically. So I've heard such good things about this one. I will be giving it a chance later, but you guys make it sound good. So
I mean, I think the payoff is worth it. I think.
Okay.
I didn't
Yeah.
think this one was slow at all.
Yeah, the
Okay.
pacing is a lot better than Oddity for sure.
And I do think what Sean was saying earlier about the just being scared. I think as horror lovers, it is so hard to get a scare out of us in movies these days, and so we're
Yes.
seeking that thrill. And I do think that there were several moments that. I mean, I typically roll my eyes at a jump scare, but there were several in Hokum where I'm just like, oh, that was actually pretty good, and I appreciated it.
Yeah, and Jillian said it correct. They were earned. They were totally
Yeah.
earned, which is a testament to his filmmaking and the movie. It's So yes, go see it.
okay. I am looking forward to it, even though I don't sound like I am. I am looking forward to it.
I think
I
you'll
try to
like
watch
it.
them all.
It's weirdly cozy in a way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Cozy
Yeah,
horror
the whole-
vibes.
Yeah.
Right? The whole time I was like, I'm gonna watch this in the fall and it's gonna be cozy. I'm gonna be still super scared, but
Okay, cozy fall horror vibes are they're their own genre entirely
Yeah.
of comfort film. So, I'm understanding that. I'm there. All right. Well, that sounds like it might be just about all we have to say to Hokum, isn't it? So I want to bring up this, which is pretty big for what's happening right now. I think this is an article from Deadline
Wow.
from this morning. This will kick us off to talk about the other two big theatrical releases, but this is insanity. I'm loving it. Backrooms mushrooms to 81 million in US, 118 million worldwide. It's a record opening for A24 and Obsession with the best ever focus features. Now, I'm getting into the article a little bit more. 81.4 domestic and 18 what looks to be global basis this morning. The number one movie claims the number one record opening for what is the youngest filmmaker ever. Parsons is now just 20 years old. The previous youngest filmmaker to have a number one opening was Josh Trank at 27 for Chronicle in 2011. Hopefully, Parsons doesn't follow in Trank's trajectory, and we get some more good stuff from Parsons. But this is the biggest opening A24 has ever seen in its 14-year history. Big Gen Z audience here for Turn-In Entertainment, co-financed Blumhouse Atomic Monster. Let me skip through. This is the part. So I was a diehard Star Wars fan my entire childhood. And did I ever think a day would come when two independent horror movies are trouncing a Star Wars film in the box office. No, I did not. I did not. So to me, it's amazing. Where is the other part? Okay, yes, as we told you previously, it's the first time that Blumhouse Atomic Monster has owned the top 2 spots at the domestic box office. Focus Features' third frame of Obsession is coming in at 26.4 for a running total of 104.7 million. The highest grossing movie ever stateside for Universal Specialty label. Wow. Saturday was 10.1 million, plus 23% over Friday's 8.1 million. The third weekend is up 10%. The last time that happened with a wide release in its second weekend was 1982's E.T.
Wow.
Which E.T. is one of the best films ever made. Sean, we saw your Letterboxd review.
Yeah, Sean hates it. Sean literally
we'll get into this.
Oh no!
I don't even remember the last time I watched it, but that sounds about right.
I mentioned you so much, Sean, in our EP stream. I'm so sorry.
You gotta check our episode.
Oh my god!
I gotta look at the review because I don't remember the last time I watched it. But it seems like one of those movies that you have the ones you remember so well one way, and then you watch it and you're like, oh my god, I was wrong.
I hope that's the case.
You gave it 3 stars. You gave it 3 stars.
Yeah, but like the way he wrote
on.
about it in the review, the things he said were just.
E.T.
Oh, product placement. Okay, it's
Yeah.
full on.
Oh yeah,
okay.
well yeah.
We're not here to trash Sean's review, but
I actually loved his differing opinion. I loved it.
yeah, we should have had you on that episode. It would have been great. It would have been great.
Essentially, go watch Jaws instead.
Yeah.
Fair.
I
remember watching it or writing this at all.
see. I would say that E.T. and Jaws are 2 of Spielberg's best works. I think they're both nearly flawless films. But we're talking about other stuff. Yeah, the last time this happened for a film was 1982's E.T. Obsession's global haul stands at 148 million from Universal and non-Universal studios. It has a way to go before becoming the highest grossing Focus Features behind London Has Fallen and Downton Abbey. But I thought this was just insane. We're looking at number 1. This is outdated already because it was this morning. Backrooms number 1, Obsession number 2, Mandalorian and Grogu number 3 in week 2. Obsession is number 2 in week 3. Insane.
Wow.
So that's to kick off our discussion of Obsession. Let's get into it.
Who said they didn't like it? Was that you, Kelsey?
Yeah.
Kelsey started it off.
It's the start.
No. Oh my god, I don't know. So I will say, take everything I say with a grain of salt. I do think the majority of people will like it. I wanted to like it, but I had a feeling if I was going to skip any of the 3 movies we were going to talk about this month, it was going to be Obsession. But then you guys in the chat were like, oh, yeah! I was like, okay. Like, they really want to talk about it, I'll go see Obsession. So I saw it, I sandwiched in the day I was going to go see it right before Backrooms, so the day before Backrooms. And I was like, all right, I'm going to be open about this. There was just something about the trailer, I was like, this just doesn't look like my jam. I don't know if I'm going to sound like, get off my lawn, like, get off my lawn! But I think I will, and I apologize.
Hey, if your lawn, tell them to get off. If you want them off, tell them to get off.
I mean, so I think part of it had to do, like I said, I recognize there's so many good things about it. The performance, I will say the positives first. This will be a good thing. So I loved Indy's performance. I thought she was incredible. I thought that was the best part of the film. She went to places that reminded me of like the 80s movie Possession. Like that's what it went to. And I loved that part of it. Another positive, I thought it was shot well. I thought the director did a great job, especially for kind of being a younger filmmaker. And I have no really big criticism about that. In terms of my actual criticisms, I didn't watch it wrong. Anyway, the chat's killing me here. I go in there and there was just something bothering me. Like, first we get the cat stuff. I'm not going to say spoilers, but I was like, man, this like makes me feel the wrong way. I don't know.
I think we can get in the spoiler territory later in this discussion. I'll put up the banner, and if you see the spoiler banner, mute us so you don't hear it, and then
Look at the box office. Everybody's seen it.
Unmute us when we get back in it. That's true. That's true.
Well,
Go ahead, Kelsey.
So I'm not gonna give actual spoilers, but I think what really annoyed me was the characterization. I don't know how else to like pinpoint what I didn't like. The story was good, and it's not like it was unique, but it was still entertaining enough. I love possession stories, and this, in a way, felt like a possession type story, even though it's like with a little bit of a twist. So the jump scares didn't get me per se. Like I kind of jolted sometimes, but it's like the type of scares you expect with a possession, like a demonic possession movie. So like to me, it was all in line with that. And I love those kinds of movies. So I was like, okay, why am I feeling weird about this? I just think it was something with the tone that didn't work for me. Again, maybe I'm too old and grumpy and horrible now, where I'm like, these freaking young kids, I hate them all. I hate them. Because that was my big criticism. I hate all the characters. Even Indy's character, we barely get to really know her before that wish is made, and basically we see her giving some money, which is not even her money, by the way, to this homeless guy. Very nice thought, but you know, it's not even her money. She did claim she was gonna pay her back, but anyway, that's all we get to see. Like, yeah, she's a good person, I guess, but I don't know. But does she deserve what happened to her? No. But I still didn't like absolutely get invested in her, and I didn't get invested. Well, I hated Bear. Especially as time went, it's like, you never loved her. You loved the idea of her. That's why it's called obsession, obviously. So I do think it had parts that made me think and ponder, and so in that way you could say, well, wasn't it successful then? Well, I mean, yeah, but it was infuriating to me because I was like, I'm watching a different movie than everybody else. I hated the friends. I hated Bear. I hated everybody. I think I like Sarah, though. I like Sarah. But, and also, some things were unbelievable. Like, would he really be, like, cool with how far it went with the sandwich? I don't think so. I don't expect him to actually just go home and talk to her like, yo, maybe you shouldn't do that. Like, please no. Anyway, I'm sorry. I am glad everyone's loving it. I'm glad it's performing so well. I just don't think it's for me. But Kat, my friend Kat's in the chat, I would say you should go see it because I am in the minority and I am okay with that.
So let me jump in after Kelsey because I told you guys I had some issues with this film, but let me preface by like, this is a 4 out of 5 stars for me. Like, it's a great movie. I had a personal preference that Kelsey was saying she wasn't quite there on the tone of the movie, and I kind of agree because for me the biggest issue was this movie starts as basically a rom-com, but it is lit like a horror movie the entire time, and that drove me insane. I was like, when you are sitting in a diner discussing love, it is okay to let the sun shine in. Like, show some light in the movie. And that is my biggest issue with this film. And that is such a nitpick and such a minuscule thing to critique. But it is one of my biggest issues with a lot of horror is when they make it overly dark, because I think you lose some of the great horror that happens in the darkness when everything is dark. So yeah, I think often of like Hereditary, brilliantly lit, bright scenes, horrifically lit, dark scenes. Like, balance is all I'm after. I still think like using the taller aspect ratio for the film to kind of mimic phones and the TikTok generation, brilliant move on Curry Barker's part. I don't know who else noticed that. I'm sitting there in the theater going, this movie is square. Anybody else see that? It was not widescreen, and I thought that was awesome. But yeah, I just thought it was overly dark, and it did kind of like, I wanted to feel the sunshine at the beginning of the film. That way, when the darkness came, it was a little bit more visceral. Other than that, I loved everything else about the film, and I feel like that is such a minor nitpick to complain about the lighting in a film, but that is something that I definitely notice, especially, like, I watched, like, Rosemary's Baby. brilliantly lit, bright movie. You can go through the list of lighting a movie brightly and then letting the dark moments actually be dark, working well. So that's just my little nitpick. We can get into the fine arguments of Bear being the villain of the movie if we want to. So
I kind of have a rebuttal for you and Kelsey, or
Yeah.
not really a rebuttal, but just
You
your
can
takes are
rebuttal.
so interesting to me, because to me watching this movie, it felt like a possession movie, but so far from like demonic possession. And I feel like I'm just so burnt out on demonic possession. So the whole time I was like, hell yes, I love this, like something different. So that's so interesting when you're watching it, like you had that take that it felt like a demonic possession. And then with like the lighting, I almost feel like I hadn't paid too much attention to the lighting like you did, Tim, but I almost feel like having it be so dark made the really terrifying scenes that much scarier, because the whole movie's kind of dark, and normally in horror movies things get dark, you know a scare is going to happen, but the entire movie's dark, so your brain's not really signaling like, oh yeah, something crazy is going to happen right now, and then all of a sudden something psycho would happen. I think there's maybe one scare where you're really like, okay, I know it's coming, when's it going to come, but other than that, so I just think that's interesting.
That's fair. I think the darkness actually for me makes me waiting for every scene to turn into something horrific because it's shot so dark. I'm waiting for everything to be tragically awful. And instead we just have a cool little diner scene. And this is, like I said, this is, like I see in the comment, art is subjective. Entirely I agree, and that's why I'm saying this is a personal preference for me, is that I love when I get the sunshine and rainbows before everything goes horribly wrong. I want that sunlight. I want to know that, hey, this day is going along normal, day at work, brightly lit, having a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, whatever, and then things go tragically awful. I love that in movies when they do that. I love that in books. I want to see the happy moments before the sad comes. And there's still like movies that are or stories that are ultimately tragedies where everything is awful all the time. But I think it's a mountains and a valleys thing for me. It's going in art school. It is, because I went to art school, it is the highlights and the shadows. You have to have the highlights to have the shadows. You have to balance it out. And so that is just my personal preference in watching things. My wife, no clue. She didn't pick up on the lighting. I'm walking out of the movie theater, mentioned lighting, and she's like, I didn't notice. And that's totally fine. It was a thing for me. She loved Obsession. She liked Obsession a lot more than I did because she was like, I'm effectively disturbed. So she liked it really well. So, and like I said, it is just personal preference. I like having that light and dark balance in my movies.
Yeah,
so
and
that
I
is
like having, kind of to that note, I like when a character is like kind of more fleshed out until we get into like the crazy stuff. So I would have preferred a more slow burn, but I think it's so popular because it's not a slow burn, and because like it's appealing to a different, I guess, demographic of people because of the mix between like rom-com and horror, and like the unique way it mixed those two things. I think it appeals to like a wider audience than just pure horror lovers, and especially I think it's really appealing to younger people are really, really into it. I'm seeing it's like sweeping people who are not even horror people, young people.
Get those rom-com fans.
I mean, I don't know what's going on.
Jessica's
but
experiencing.
Something's appealing. Maybe the new horror lovers are those rom-com lovers.
The romance
like
people.
Horror to anyone.
It's the closet horror fans. We just got to convert them. But anyway, I'm not trying to be too harsh on it. I just, I guess the characters bothered me and the characterization, and I wanted more, and that's just a personal preference. I can see the good things. And when I say I disliked it or I didn't like it that much, I still gave it a 3.5, which is still high. But to me, like if anyone... my friends in the chat will know. Like a 3.5 is like, Kelsey hated it. But not really.
Yeah. That's why I tried to preface, in case we forgot, I did say it's like a 4 out of 5. I really, really enjoyed this movie. I just have a little little issue with it, and it's so minor, it's ridiculous. But let's get into talking about the story and why we think it is just crushing it at the box office. And I think we kind of touched on that balance of the rom-com element and then bringing in the horror to it. So dive into it. Take it away. What did you love about this movie?
I kind of want to
Go ahead.
Oh, and I just kind of want to like not keep going, but like just kind of bring in that aspect of the darkness that you were talking about, Tim. And usually I do really dislike that as well. Like that's a huge reason why I don't enjoy a lot of the Conjuring movies, because I feel like they can get too dark and blue and for too long. And with this one, we start a lot of the beginning in Bear's house, and it does seem dark from the very get-go, but I feel like that's a reflection of his character and how he's just like living in his own kind of cesspool of self-loathing, and then he brings what's Indy's character's name? He brings her into it, and Nikki, yes. And I kind of appreciated that we were in darkness in this house for the entire time. This house was never bright. It just got grosser and darker and taped up, and you felt like you were in this dirty drug love den and you couldn't get out. So I appreciated the darkness, especially in the house. And then like there were scenes in the music store when they were at work and having fun and goofing around. They were very brightly lit, almost like fluorescent lighty lit. But we weren't there for very long, so I can see how you just felt like you're in darkness for too long. And I kind of feel like maybe that was more of a reflection of how Nikki is for the majority of the movie, like whether physically or like in her mind, just like clouded in this darkness.
Yeah, I think this movie for me, like, I really enjoyed it. And I walked out of the theater feeling like, yeah, that was good. And then several days later, I was still thinking about it and still peeling back the layers. And for me, that's the sign of like, it's a great film. And I can't wait to see it again, because I'm thinking back on the scenes before I understood what was really happening. And I'm like, oh, wait, so this is what was actually happening. And I feel like with certain films, when you watch them the first time, you're not sure if they're doing just weird, spooky things for the sake of weird, spooky things happening. And it reminded me a lot of the first time I watched Get Out, is when you rewatch Get Out and you're like, oh, that's happening because this person is that person and this is really happening and they're doing this. And this movie really nailed that in such a wonderful way. And it's just deeply unsettling. The visual language is very profoundly clear. Like there's the scene when they're at dinner together and he confirms that she only likes him because of his spell, and they do that hard cut to them having sex, and it's horrifying because we understand that he knows that she's not there. And so it just keeps building in that way that I thought, and to address that question of why is it so successful, I think that because we crave discourse around art, and this is a movie that has so many conversations online and in person and in YouTube conversations about it, because there's so much to talk about, which I would say for me, like Hokum was like, it's a fun, spooky, haunted house type movie, but I don't really have that much to say about it afterwards. There's not, to me personally, as much depth as Obsession, which really says a lot about the way people treat each other in these dynamics. And to me, that's why I think it's so successful. And the balance of humor, you know, again, the Jordan Peele of it all, the Zach Krieger of it all, understanding how to balance horror and humor in that way makes things so much more both palatable but also unsettling, because you can switch gears so quickly from a laugh into a shiver.
Yeah. I totally agree with, like, I know I was critiquing my little GC, who's usually here. He calls them Tim picks, nitpicks, but they're Tim picks. I had my Tim picks at the beginning, but like you said, Brian, this movie stayed with me for days after seeing it. And I initially walked out not liking it. And the more I thought about it, the more I was like, oh, this was actually kind of brilliant. Like when I was going to go see the Backrooms, I messaged our chat. I was going to see it Saturday, but then my tire blew and the whole ordeal, and I had to see it a different day. But I was going to do a double feature and watch Obsession again. And to see a movie again in theaters means that I think it's pretty great. So I totally agree with, like, this movie stayed in my brain for weeks now because I saw it on the opening weekend. It has been in my brain every weekend. And I also have to say that, like, opening weekend, it was a small screen at my theater, packed, filled with people. This weekend, it was on bigger screens in my theater. But I saw BACKROOMS, and it was also, you would have thought BACKROOMS was a Marvel movie back when Marvel was at its heyday. My theater was filled for these two movies, and that is awesome. I love that.
Same for my theater. I mean, my theater's not small, but both were filled, and I saw Obsession late. Like, I just saw it this past week, so, and it was still filled. So that does tell you something, and I keep coming back with, like, positive things to counter my own negative things. Like, for instance, I am still thinking about it. I have been still thinking about it, and there is something very off-putting about it, but in a good way. Obviously, in a way that I do love movies that create discourse, and this has made me think in my head a lot. And in those ways, I liked it a lot. Again, I was originally going to be like, it's a 3, and then I'm like, no, the performance, this, that, 3.5, and now I'm almost like, well, maybe I should make it a 4. I don't know. Anyway, so I am getting convinced up and up, but I still feel the friend parts of it were really, like, it's not a spoiler, I'll kind of hide what I'm referencing, but I think anyone who's seen it will know what I'm talking about. Bear's friend Ian, you know, the one who he knows he likes Nikki, he's friends with all of them. So Ian,
He's a POS.
yes, he is a POS.
Can we just
I hated Ian. I hated him so much. I almost hated him worse than Bear, but anyway, Ian was the worst. But when we find out
Do I need to?
the secret, no, I'm not going to say
Yeah,
what it
yeah.
is. When we find out the secret, it doesn't make any sense to me. It does. The whole looking back on the beginning of the movie doesn't make any sense to me, because it's like, so you're a shit friend, obviously, since you never mentioned this. Not that you would, I don't know, would you mention it? I think you would. To somebody
Bro
who's like
code,
about
man.
to go.
It's bro code.
Bro
You
code,
got-
yes. Yes, I think in that way you would do bro code, but even so, I feel like he would be more upset when Bear was expressing initially his worry about Nikki. Right when they come in the day after and they spent the night together, and he's like, "Oh yeah," like that to me makes no sense looking back. After we get that reveal later, I'm like, and then they let her, after she like hits her head with that thing, they let him drive off with her instead of calling the ambulance to come there. It's all nitpicky shit. I know, but like I just can't get over, like, why would he act like that? So like I keep getting stuck into these, why did they all act like this? And I usually am not like that.
20-year-olds recently.
Yeah.
No, and that's the problem. No.
I actively try to avoid 20-year-olds recently, but that's me.
They're pretty awful. Like I think Bear and the boyfriend from Midsommar should go get a
Yes.
beer. I don't think I've hated a character as like a boyfriend or whatever like that much since then. I mean, from the opening scene, I'm like, this guy is such a little bitch. He's such a little whiny bitch. Like, and it is like Ian is his friend, but also he's clearly setting him up for his own satisfaction, right? Because he's like coaching him. No, like, but there's that secret that you mentioned, Kelsey,
Yeah.
and like,
Yeah.
so all you can read from that is like he's totally just like puppeteers.
Yeah,
You know, he's
yeah.
puppeteering him, and that's awful. But Sarah is redeemable, I think, but
Yes.
they are. Like when I left the theater the first time, I knew I really liked it, but I had like a visceral. I compared it when we did the review on the Horror Vision. I compared it to like a couple albums where like there have been certain works of art where it gives me a physiological response where I feel not ill, like, oh, I'm gonna puke, but like I just felt so gross afterwards. And
Yes,
when
yes,
we
that's
reviewed
how
it, I'm
I
like,
felt, kind of.
like,
yeah.
I really liked it, but I was like, I don't know that I'm going to be in a hurry to see it again. But then I saw it because of my girlfriend. She didn't go with me the first time. She wanted to see it, and she absolutely loved it. But the second time, here's the thing. It's a comedy. Like, I didn't realize it, but if you listen to the music cues, the whole movie is funny as hell because the music is constantly, like, it'll be all serious and then it'll just stop. And it's like it's all comedic timing. And I didn't get the first go through. I remember thinking, okay, the money was funny. There were like a couple things that were, you know, it made me like laugh or exhale, but I felt like, man, there really wasn't much of an exhale in this movie. The second time I'm like, oh, it's a comedy. I mean, it's one that gets very severe at times.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I could see it. I probably could use another viewing, and maybe I would see that more. I mean, I laughed at parts the first time around, but I think I
Watch it
could
like
pick
it's a
up more.
comedy and watch it like it's a fairy tale.
Yeah, maybe that would.
And then watch it wrong.
I thought apparently I watched it wrong. I definitely thought it was a very, very dark comedy, and that's where some of my criticism with the lighting comes, because normally even dark comedies have bright lighting. But yeah, this movie, like you mentioned, the visceral reaction. I think that's why I walked out of the theater going, I don't know that I like that. Because it made me feel uncomfortable. And then the longer Yes, and then the longer I sat with it, I was like, that's actually just
the whole point.
Credit to the writer, credit to the director for making me feel that way. And so the longer I sat with it, the more I appreciate. I will own this movie when its physical release is announced. I will definitely be purchasing it, and I will be showing it to people because I feel like this is a pretty accessible horror movie. It does kind of, we've joked about crossing the rom-com boundaries with Jessica's Fatally Yours, apparently bringing in romance authors who love it, but we also have this movie that can bring in kind of the rom-com fans, and hey, this is a dark rom-com, and give it a shot. And it is disturbing. It is disturbing. The jump scare that I mentioned, that I think this takes jump scare of the month for me, and it would have to do with a certain brick. So that was jumped out of my seat because I was so mad too. I was so mad because you know it's coming. You know it's coming.
He did this thing expertly where he knows his fan base, and he knows that the fans know that it's coming, and he played with that. And I think that is one of the things that made it such a brilliant jump scare and scene, is that you're waiting for it, and you know it's going to happen. And then when it happens, you're still reacting to it in like a very visceral way, which is like pretty amazing. So yes, congratulations.
Yes, Curry Barker, great job.
Okay.
Tip the hat. Yep.
I don't know if that's the right expression, but I'm trying to be, in my 20s.
He played with the camera work in that scene where it was like, they were doing coverage, so it's the back and forth between Bear and Sarah, and like the window next to her, the way they framed her, you were waiting for it, right? But they keep cutting back, and he shrinks the frame so that when it finally happens, there's less of that window there. I thought that was so well done, because we know, like you guys said, we know it's coming, and they still got us.
Leapt out of my seat.
Very, very hard. And then it does the thing like where it just keeps going. Like, it reminds me of Sideshow Bob stepping on the rakes, where it's just like, oh my God, like it goes over the top, but then stops before it gets completely ridiculous.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Terrifier 2 kind of thing, where when you think it's going to stop, they just keep going.
Yeah. That's actually... go ahead, Jillian. No.
I need to go.
Okay. I was actually going to say the ongoing nature of that scene is one of the things I loved about the film, because it was pretty not pretty restrained, like thematically it's disturbing the entire way, but viscerally it's a really restrained up until that point, and then it goes unhinged. And so I appreciated just leaning full into the unhinged at that moment. So I really liked, like you said, that like, oh, we're about to be done. Nope, still doing this. Like, I appreciate that about it. Jillian.
Oh, like same note with like the camera work in this. Just, I feel like they had so many long shots, and I think I saw an interview with Curry Barker where he talked about specifically wanting a lot of like long shots in the movie and not like cutting away a bunch. And I feel like that just helps so much with the movie and making it so much more terrifying because you just get like so much more immersed in it. So I really enjoyed that part of the camera work.
I love long shots. Anybody who has reviewed a movie with me knows I am a sucker for a long shot.
Hey, think about this with this movie. So it just dawned on me while we're talking. So that visceral like ick feeling that he clearly wanted us to feel, right? And we all felt. Another movie I can think of that used to do that to me, and maybe still does to a degree, is the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, for sure. Like the 16 millimeter, everything about it. Like the first couple times I saw it, I physically revolted. I mean, I loved it, but I was revolted, right? And they tapped him for picking up the franchise for A24. So now I'm like, oh my God, I wonder if that's specifically because somebody at A24 is like, you know what this reminds me of?
Okay, wait, speaking of the ick, because I haven't discussed this before with anyone, but I had the exact same reaction to Hereditary. Like, I left Hereditary after theaters, and I was like, I hated that movie. But it, like, stuck with me so much, and, like, days later, I'm like, wait, I love that movie. But it just, like, gives you such a weird reaction, and I feel like a lot of people that see this movie are, like, having the same reaction as well. Yeah. Where, like, days later, it sticks with you, and you're like, wait, I think I actually did really like it. But I remember, and Hereditary is a very dark, like, shot movie. Whole movie super dark, and like the end of it you're just like, oh, I kind of like feel gross.
I still hate Hereditary, but I also still think it's one of the best horror movies ever made. So it definitely, because it effectively delivers the ick so well. Hats off, man. Yes, I agree, Jillian. But him doing Texas Chainsaw Massacre, he has another movie coming out. Curry Barker has another movie coming out before that, which the premise sounds brilliant. Have you guys seen that?
No.
Yeah. Ghost hunters get involved in like they're fakers. They're fake paranormal investigators who get involved in a real haunting. And it is apparently in the same universe as Obsession, and there's references to Obsession in it from what I read on the internet, which we know how reliable that information is. So
sounds a bit like somebody's book that I've read that's on this Tim.
Yeah. All right, anything else on Obsession, guys?
Is Aaron Paul in that? Someone in the chat said Aaron Paul.
Ooh.
Is he going to be in?
I think he is. Let me see if I can find. Let me see if I can find something from it. Something. Curry Barker. He's already. What I read is he has already filmed his entire next movie.
Whoa.
Like Obsession is out now, but he has already completed. It just has Anything But Ghosts. Anything But Ghosts. That's the movie. Aaron Paul's in it.
Nice.
Bryce Dallas Howard. Cooper Tomlinson. So the friend from this movie.
Ian.
Yep. So I want to get into, before we leave Obsession, I want to get into this debate that I see going around online. And I want to pick your guys' brains on it, because I think it's a great point of discussion for this film. Was Bear always the villain?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think even the title plays on the fact that like it's actually his obsession with her that is the villainous and dark thing that kicks everything into gear, because he doesn't really that scene of him driving her home, especially in retrospect, is so heartbreaking, because like she talks about you're the only one I can talk to about this stuff, and it's like she clearly sees him as a friend, and he can't get it over with and just ask her, even though she says to him like, if you like me, now is the time to tell me. Mm-hmm. She's just trying to like get past that so they can be friends, and he just can't, and instead he turns to this. And there's a scene, we're in spoiler territory, right? Can I talk?
I can, I'll pop up the banner. Yep.
Yeah. To me, the scene that...
Okay, go.
Yeah. In addition to the one I mentioned earlier, is the scene when he calls the hotline, and the first thing he says is not, can I undo this? It's, can I alter it so that essentially he still wants to keep her trapped in that situation. He just wants her to be less crazy so that he can have more control over it. And then he gets to like, well, then, okay, maybe I'll cancel it if I can, but he can't. But that to me is like, again, that's a dark psychological element to his character that's being revealed.
Yeah, I totally agree. I love that take, and I thought the same thing about the title, that it actually alluded to him, which makes it even darker because there's nothing making him act that way. That's just how he is. And that's the frightening part, is that he's willing to go, like, through all these lengths, and he's okay with her losing her autonomy, which is really scary and sad.
Yeah. And right before he goes to see the other friend whose name I just forgot now, but when she's trying to communicate with him from the bed and explain that like she's not really there and that she's trapped, and his response is just like, what would be so wrong? Like, why would it be so bad to be with me? Like, he's still stuck on his own egoistic attachment and obsession with her, and that's the ick that sticks with you.
Yeah.
That's the worst scene in the film. That is that scene to me is the scene that gave me the strongest, like, I'm about to throw up in my popcorn bucket, like, feel in that is when she's laying there and, like, the other one's asleep.
Yeah.
Like, kill me. Ugh, that scene was awful.
I mean, he knows something is up. Like, the moment they kiss, they're making out, and she, like, freaks out. And he's already like, oh, okay, I'll still go through with it. So, like, even from that point, you like, he already suspects that this isn't real. This isn't really her. So I think that's telling. I don't know. So maybe I do like it more. Maybe Jillian is right, and it gave me the ick, and that's why I'm, like, so viscerally upset by it. I don't know.
Only repeated watches will tell, Kelsey. You got to watch it again, and then you'll know.
Yeah.
I guess I will.
I think, like, I've slowly come around to the idea that Bear's obsession is the dark side of this film. And not because that wasn't the way I first viewed it, but because I first viewed it kind of as a monkey's paw situation, where, like, I can, as the 2008 emo kid that I was, I can understand wanting somebody's love and affection. And the idea of, like, this is a silly toy that I bought, it's not going to work, but make the wish. I can understand that kind of thought process of, like, I just want her to love me, but I don't. He took advantage of the wish as it goes on, versus, like, it wasn't natural, where I think most people are sitting there like, I want it to be real, not this fake forced thing. And so I first walked away with this kind of monkey's paw of, be careful what you wish for. You know, you kind of have this object that has created this horrific situation. Because the other thing that I don't, is, like, it's so minor in the story, but I'm thinking about the friend whose name is Ian. He wishes for $1 million and it just rains from the sky. So, spoiler, sorry guys, it's not real pivotal, but it rains from the sky. But, like, in the movie, we are seeing what the effect of Bear's wish does to Nikki. What we aren't seeing with Ian is the effect of his wishing for $1 million. Like, where is that coming from?
Yeah.
It's raining out of the sky. We're not seeing if his wish for $1 million has horrific effects elsewhere as well. You know, so I did, like, it took me a while to come around and, like, again, pick up those pieces and dissect it in my brain as I'm thinking about it weeks after watching the film, which I think is what makes it so effective. It's why people are going back. It's why it has seen, I think it was a record-breaking increase in the box office. Movies don't increase almost 40% in viewership in week 2. You don't. The typical is to drop 60%. So that's insane. And I think that's why is the word of mouth, people watch it, they love it, or they sit with it a while and then tell people, like, you need to go see it and we need to talk about it. And, like Brian mentioned way back at the beginning, the discourse around this movie, is fantastic. And I think that's why this movie is doing so well. I love that it has created this kind of discourse. I do.
Agree.
All right, does that wrap up Obsession? Is everybody done? Have you said what you go see Obsession? Is that how we end Obsession? So I know I sounded like I was critical on it, but seriously, go see Obsession. It is a great film. It is a great film.
I do think we just need to give the main actress Indy like
Do it.
more roses. I know Kelsey did at the beginning, but like she was just incredible.
Correct. Yes.
I don't know how someone can have so much control of like their face, but like pre-wish Nikki and post-wish Nikki, like her face changes. Like she looks almost like a different person. Like it was just incredible. And yeah, I feel like we just had to pause there and give her a moment 'cause that was great.
No,
Yes,
I agree.
I'm glad you. Yes.
Yes, and if I could if we could put the spoiler up one more time. I mean,
Yep. I'll pop the spoiler up. Mute us while you see it, but.
But yeah, Jillian, absolutely, and like pre-wish Nikki, and then current like peri-wish Nikki, and then at the end when she's before the wish ends, she's bawling her eyes out and sobbing, and then when the wish is done, her transformation, she's still sobbing but in a totally different way. And the way that she just completely you know that she's transformed back into herself, and just like it is so nuanced and subtle, that change. She's still crying, like that action is still there, but the character has changed and the audience sees it, and there's no overt like, oh, she like this is the label, she's going back to her normal self now, but you can just sense it and you feel that with her, and it's very masterful. So
I saw a thing on social media where she was saying that because she was like, it's not quite a possession movie, it's not quite like demonic, it's more of like there's a veil of the wish side of her, and then she's still in there, and every once in a while she can kind of like pop through the veil. But yeah, so she has to hold those two characters inside of that one vessel the whole time that she's going through this story, and that's pretty incredible for the actor to do that. So I think that's really it was an incredible performance. For me, that was like the selling point of the whole movie was the performance and the mood. That I know some of you didn't like the mood, but I would also add the score or the soundtrack added to that sort of whole dreary sense of and then cutting out of it randomly for these other songs like that. That really added to it for me as well.
Yeah. I was just looking up her experience on IMDb because I wasn't that familiar with her, which is a shame because I did watch the Superman and Lois TV series, which apparently she was in, so for 47 episodes. She was also in 13 Reasons Why.
Oh.
But I definitely think this movie has like skyrocketed her to she's on people's radar now for sure. Oh, yeah. Because her performance was just insanely good, just so fantastic.
And I think that's even more like accolades for the movie. It's just like there weren't any huge stars in this movie to like drive people to go see it. A lot of us in the horror community had heard of Curry Barker because of Milk and Cereal, but besides that, just like the word of mouth is so amazing, and that's what really got people into go seeing this movie.
Yeah. All right. So speaking of the other big indie film that is A24 still indie? I know it's listed as indie, but at this point I feel like A24 it's pushing the line. It's towing the line a little bit maybe. But it's still because I guess I would consider it indie because it gives the artists basically the freedom to still do what they want. They're without a lot of studio interference. So I guess that's maybe where the line would be drawn. But A24 handed the youngest filmmaker in its history a bunch of money to do something that he's been doing since he was 16. So who was able to see Backrooms?
I
Three of
saw
us?
half of it.
You saw
You
half
guys
of
have
it?
to be on your spoiler alerts.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're actually going to see it right after the broadcast. We
Yes.
tried seeing it opening weekend, and all of the theaters were totally booked.
Yeah.
Like the screen,
Amazing.
we wanted to see
Yes.
it in Dolby, and those were all like completely sold out, except for the first row. Like we're not going to do the first row.
No.
So,
I don't
yeah.
recommend first row for this one either.
No.
This was one. This gave me. So, how many of you have actually seen the YouTube shorts that Kane Pixels did?
I saw
Not all
half
of
of
us.
them. I saw
Half
half
of-
of
yeah.
the playlist.
Half of
Yeah. So there's. I don't think you can spoil this movie. In all honesty, I think I could tell you the ending, and it's not gonna like. It's not going to spoil a thing for you, but I
Agreed.
won't. I'll try not to. I'll try not to, because it is very much like an hour and 45-minute version of his YouTube shorts. It is, you get more story, you get more character, you get some great sequences in it, but it's clear there's still more to this story. We have just seen a chapter, and that's kind of, I think that is why a lot of people, this movie has been more divisive than Obsession from what I've seen. More people have not loved this movie. And I think a lot of that has to do with the ending. It is very open-ended. And I'm fine with that. I went into it kind of just wanting a more fleshed out YouTube short. And that's what I got. So I was very thrilled with this movie, walking out of it. It had... Where Obsession had the best jump scare of the month by far, this movie had the biggest. Hey, Aaron!
Hey,
Hey, Aaron, we're talking Backrooms, bud.
Very cool. Can you guys hear me?
Welcome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. Nice to see everyone.
Glad you're here, Aaron. This movie had some of the like tensest moments that I've had in theaters for a while. There are a couple, I think there are two like found footage sequences in this film that I thought were super effective. They were also the sequences that, much like Jessica, my wife had to close her eyes. She told me afterwards, she was like, I was about to go out to the car and let you finish the movie because she was sick. She was physically ill. And that is one of the things we were talking about later that I think was awesome about this movie. Is not just that the found footage made people ill. I think the set design, the whole idea of the backrooms being something that looks familiar but wrong is making people physically ill watching this movie, because it is such a I kept thinking like the uncanny valley idea of like, it looks like it's supposed to be human, but it's not, that whole situation for this film with like, that's supposed to be somebody's living room and it's clearly not. I was thoroughly blown away by this 20-year-old's first theatrical film. I thought he did a killer job. I've seen a lot of people online be like, oh, it was ghost directed by other people, whatever. And Duplass, is that his name?
yeah.
Yeah, he came out and was like, no. He's in it for like 5 minutes total. Spoilers. He came out and was like, no, Kane did this. He kind of took that creepypasta story and ran with it on YouTube and turned it into what it is today. And the movie freaked me out. It was fantastic. I loved it. If you're looking for a solid ending, this movie doesn't provide it. So that would be my consideration going into this film.
I also loved it. So I'm not being a contrarian this time, but I kind of am, because I know there's people on our panel who didn't like it that much. But I really liked it. I thought, I don't know, I knew about the YouTube videos ahead of time, and that kind of intrigued me. So that kind of lent a little bit of intrigue, and but I didn't go in blind, I guess. So I think it would have been even more effective if I had gone in blind. But I don't know. I feel like it adds a little extra something if you watch the YouTube videos. I think it's just a fun little background thing, extra thing. But overall, I thought it was awesome. I thought it had great character development. I even didn't mind that it had like slow burn feel. I kind of like that in movies sometimes. So I don't know why I like that one so much. I can clearly easily say I liked it, whereas Obsession is like, well, I don't like it. Well, now maybe I do, but I don't know. This one, maybe I'm a sucker for like visuals and artsy movies, but I can't believe a 20-year-old directed it. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah. That's the part that blows my brain. That it's 20-year-old. He started doing this when he was 16. I think the first Backrooms video he did was 16 or 17 years old, and he's been doing it ever since on his YouTube, just kind of doing, I think the longest segment on his YouTube is 45 minutes. And everything else is like 10 minutes long. Mm-hmm. And that's just what he's been doing. And he was doing it all in Blender, creating this world himself. And seeing the built sets that they did for this is also, for those of you who aren't familiar, I can't remember if we mentioned it, we might have. You can watch the YouTube segments that he's done, and it helps you enhance the story you saw on the screen. Yeah. They are not super intertwined and where you need to see that. But if you're wondering about the organization, you get a little bit about the organization in the movie. You can also go to YouTube and find out a lot more about the organization that's there. You get enough to understand what's happening on screen. It's kind of like we're seeing one corner of the Backrooms and what's happening, and his YouTube is another corner of the same facility. So they share the space, but they're separate stories. So the YouTube is good stuff. It is definitely, obviously, much lower budget, but just the idea that A24 was like, hey, this guy on YouTube's made this really popular thing, let's let him make a movie about it, I think is incredibly awesome.
Yeah.
Incredibly awesome.
Tim, would you say for those of us who have not seen it, should we watch the YouTube videos first or after?
You don't have to.
I would almost say watch the theatrical release, and if you like what it's doing, check out the YouTube shorts.
Okay.
Because my wife hated all of it, by the way. She liked Obsession. She gave Backrooms 0 out of 10. She said 0 out of 10. She hated it. She hated it. She liked Obsession, hated Backrooms. Yeah. Yes. And part of that is because it made her physically ill.
Okay.
And it made her physically ill. And so that definitely impacted her opinion of it. I was sitting there like grinning like a kid in a candy store the whole time. I was like, yeah, this is what I wanted. This is what I wanted. So I was loving it. But so I would say if you watch the movie and you like what the movie did, check out the YouTube stuff, because it's just going to explore the world of Backrooms a little bit more. We kind of get basically the concept of Backrooms. I don't think this spoils anything, is especially because it's been on YouTube. It copies what it sees, but its memory is flawed. And so the thing that really stood out in the movie with me is they explain it as in, it's like describing a dog to someone who's never seen a dog and then asking them to draw it. And that's kind of the whole premise of the Backrooms. And I 100% understand why some people are not liking this movie, because it gives zero answers to stuff. It's very open-ended. It just kind of gives you enough to understand what's happening, but there's no solution. And I kind of walked away. It was like, I would rather have an open ending. I don't ever want to find out that the Backrooms is some like underground alien UFO facility, whatever, because much like Stranger Things telling us that the Upside Down is a wormhole, I don't want the magic destroyed. Don't tell me that this is it, because someone's going to be upset. So I would rather just have
purgatory.
That. Yeah.
You know, the whole purgatory explanation for things.
Yes, I would rather have it be kind of this mysterious thing that exists and we don't understand it. and we explore it. And this movie does kind of leave it open to where we could have 15 Backroom sequels, because there's a line in the movie that says, "It is everything that has ever been."
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool, more stories. Tell me more. Let's go.
Also, there were doors opening everywhere, and we don't know why, or like there's no rhyme or reason, so they can open anywhere.
At the end of the movie, did they say follow, like, subscribe?
No. They popped up the little thumbs up thing at the bottom of
Support the
I
channel.
did. Part of me, I could get involved pretty heavily in the debate of should the next movie follow the found footage aspect of Backrooms, which the YouTube does, or should it continue the traditional film version. I thought Kane did an excellent job of balancing. I think he was better at the found footage stuff. I think the found footage stuff, which, Jessica, at what point did you walk out?
I believe it was right around the time the Christmas tree appeared for the first time.
Oh.
And
That is
let me tell you this. I don't know if it was motion sickness. I have epilepsy, but I am not photosensitive, so lights and things don't usually bother me. But I had such a strange reaction to watching the movie. I think it may have given me a seizure, because I don't have traditional, like, you see in movies type of seizures. I genuinely think I had an absent seizure in the theater, because I felt sick, like I had one for the rest of the day. So I don't know what it was about the way that they did, because seriously, flashing lights don't bother me at all, don't do anything. This, something about the way they shot it, and found footage doesn't usually bother me. They did something in the making of the film that made it look like that, and it's not surprising to me that it's making a lot of people sick.
Yeah.
But I will say, before I got sick, I'm not excited to go back. It felt like walking through a haunted house, and like, here's a room, here's a scary thing jumping out at you. Here's a room, here's a scary thing jumping out at you. But based on, if I left when there was a Christmas tree on the screen, I don't know if anything got better after that.
So I do think you left during what I thought was the scariest scene of the film. There's definitely more scares coming later. But the sorry, Aaron, can you see yourself?
I cannot. No, and I think I'm muted.
No,
I
can hear you.
Am I on this?
Can everybody see Aaron?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on stage, Aaron.
So weird then. It says I'm
Yeah,
muted.
sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
can
No,
see
I
you.
saw a message from Aaron, and I was like, Aaron, you're on stage, bud. Yeah, you're here.
All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah. I think that scene that you walked out was the most effective found footage scares that I've seen in years. That stuff was so good. And then we kind of get some more explanation of what happens during that. That was great. And also, it still manages to be scary, but it does kind of, I don't know. Yeah, I think you should just experience it. I think you should experience it. But like I said, I definitely think just the oddity of this movie is like going into a room and it being like the ceiling matches with the floor in the next room, or there's a hole filled with chairs, or this hole has like a door. Like the funhouse aspect of it is 100% what I think is what is affecting people.
Sounds
who
like House of Leaves.
Oh, it's definitely inspired by
Yes.
House of Leaves.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
For sure.
No doubt.
Yep, it is. I am hearing, well, I am believing that the funhouse aspect of it is absolutely what is leading to a lot of the physical reactions to the film. Is that not only is it found footage, but you're found footage in a house that warps reality, and it messes with your stomach. It messes with you, and I loved that. I ate up. I thought it was fantastic. I love the idea of you are in a brightly lit space and you are wandering through these yellow hallways, and I am just constantly filled with dread. What is around this corner?
I also loved how they had a sound for
Yeah.
the back rooms too. Like it has a distinct sound
The
when you're in
fluorescent
there.
light hum.
Exactly, and I love that. I think it works so well with that. It's like kind of makes you uneasy.
It
reminds me-
weaponizes mundanity.
Yes,
Yes.
You know what I mean?
yes.
Like,
Yeah.
it's because everybody can relate to that, and I don't know. I thought, man, it's definitely not going to be for everybody. There's no doubt about it. But
Yeah.
and I mean, like the YouTube stuff, I like a lot, but I've never finished the whole thing. This is really. It's just, and the House of Leaves thing, that's been optioned. I mean, I read that book over 20 years ago, and as long as I have read that book, and thought about it, which I think about it still probably at least a couple times a week, right? It's been optioned, and nobody's ever made it because I'm pretty sure everybody in Hollywood was like, oh, I don't know how to actually make this movie, the Navidson record and blah, blah, blah in the house. And then this 20-year-old comes along and makes it. He's like, yeah, that's kind of how you make it next. It's amazing.
It was an experience. I mean, I'll jump in here. I guess the problem I had with it is
Yes.
that there's no explanation given. But maybe
I like
that's
that.
okay.
I think we said that right before you joined, is how I actually
did you?
like
Okay.
that. Well, I said
like
that I
that.
actually like that there's no explanation, because sometimes I think the explanations ruin the storytelling, the magic of what you're experiencing. And this one keeps it totally like, our explanation is, we have no idea what it is. We found it. Like, great. That's awesome. It's awesome.
And there's even more of it. I don't want to give any spoilers away, but there's more of it to come, and they kind of allude to that in the end. So I'm definitely fascinated. That was probably my only complaint there.
Yeah.
I actually have some dread going to go see it now because, like, you guys are not selling it. Like, did anyone see was it House on Eden that came out last year with those YouTubers and
TikTokers.
the TikTokers? Oh my God! I have never been physically sick watching a movie, but I really did think I was going to throw up or have to like leave the theater.
So that's why we're not selling it?
Yeah,
I don't think this is that bad.
it's not.
I think if you're super sensitive to the found footage, but I even like Missy from the Horror Vision, like really felt like they were swinging the camera like all over, and I'm like, I didn't feel like that. Like
I didn't think so either.
There are moments, especially in the opening, which is found footage, where I felt like there were points where I'm like, it's a little gratuitous that he's trying to work this communication thing and he's still holding the camera. Like, you know,
Set it down.
Felt a little, yeah, it set it down, right? Which they do later. There's a scene where somebody does that. But I didn't think it was, you know, but I guess if you are sensitive to it, you will
I'm
be
not
sensitive.
usually. I love found
So,
footage, and House on
I think
Eden
you'll
was
be
the
okay.
only one where it was like, oh my God, put the
The last
camera down.
the last movie that made me sick in theaters was Neon Demon. So if you can watch Neon Demon, you're fine.
Well, Neon Demon is another ick movie, right? Like,
Yeah.
but that's his whole thing. It's like, look at these images you want to look at because they're gorgeous, but underneath, it's going to make you feel disgusting for looking at them. That's what NWR does. It's a specialty.
So bring your own barf bag, like BYOB.
Yeah, just be prepared, Elise. Just go ready, knowing it's a dizzying experience.
Okay, so empty popcorn bucket.
I was gonna say, yeah, that
Right.
you're a giant bucket of popcorn.
Yeah.
I think the
Go
popcorn
ahead, Sean.
bucket, you know, the popcorn bucket, you know, now it's a big thing. I think it is a barf bag, but it's like yellow.
Yeah.
And wallpaper.
Right.
You gotta finish the popcorn first.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
My AMC didn't have one. Is there a popcorn bucket
What?
for the movie?
I didn't see one.
Just-
Yes, it was the async
bag.
The hazmat.
yellow. Yeah, the hazmat suit. Brian said.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
Was that at AMC? I didn't see it the other night.
I don't know if it was that AMC.
I think
probably
they
sold out.
all sell out like a month before the movies actually come out. These days, people go
so they
buy
were
them in
gone.
advance. So
Insane.
you can probably find a Grogu to puke in if you want.
Yeah, there it goes.
Oh, you have a lot of those that no one's buying. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. We went into this. Normally, my wife is a popcorn and drink person during movies. I am not, because I don't want to have to go to a bathroom an hour and a half into the movie. We both got drinks for this one. Hers was entirely untouched the entire film because it started and she got sick and she was closing her eyes in the first opening scene. So I do think I do think that's an important thing to bring up if you're watching this and thinking about the back rooms. It is making people physically ill in theaters. I I agree with Sean. I didn't think the found footage was especially shaky or anything we haven't seen before. I
It's
think it
not.
is.
It's not. I can't explain what it was, but
See,
it made
that
me
is
so sick. It made me
that
so
is
sick to
why
watch.
I think it is the uncanny valley
Yeah,
situation
for sure.
of the abstract architecture combined with the found footage is upsetting to your equilibrium. And I think that is, to me, that is a super high praise for what Kane
Yep.
at 20 years old was able to do for this film. Where Obsession gives us the ick because of the thematic elements going on in this one gives us the ick because it is upsetting our equilibrium. And I think it's two very different types of horror, both done extremely well by two of the youngest people in the business. I love it. I'm so high right now on just horror in May being great.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will be buying Backrooms when it comes out. I loved it, but I also can say, and I think I said it at the beginning, I totally understand why some people wouldn't. Like Aaron said, the lack of explanation, the lack of ending, I can understand why some people are unhappy with that. But to me, I'm just like, hey, I got everything I wanted. I loved Kane's use of liminal photography. Even though he filmed it, but they're just like scenes of parking lots.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was very much, if you see liminal space stuff on Instagram, which I love that stuff. I don't know
Same.
why. I get sucked into that stuff every time I see it. I loved his use of that, but at first it feels like filler. He's putting it in between story elements. And then it comes around full circle at the end and we start to see some of it. And I thought it was really well done, way more than I would expect for a 20-year-old filmmaker making his first theatrical big budget film. Big budget. It was less than 100 million. But I think it was $30 million. It already made like 500% its budget back this weekend,
Wow.
is what I read. So insane.
Crazy. I was looking at the AMC app every 15 minutes, and a lot of them were sold out.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's
think-
like Titanic, but very different.
Yes.
That's good.
Well, and I think this movie is appealing to a generation of people who have grown up watching YouTube. So
Yeah.
when I taught junior high, I would let the kids, every kid had a Chromebook. I was teaching art class. And I was like, if you want to have something on while you're drawing, by all means do it. That's what I do. When I'm creative, I have music on, I have YouTube on, I have something happening in the background. So I would let the kids do it. And these junior hires are all on YouTube. It is a YouTube generation of people just watching YouTube. And I think that's showing up at the theaters. My theater was full, and it was full of families, which I don't expect for an R-rated horror release.
Right.
It is moms and dads with their 13-year-olds. And I was surprised by that. And I think it is definitely something pretty unique to the genre.
But also, did you guys have the experience where, like, my theater was full? I saw it at 1:30 p.m. yesterday, and it was largely, I'm 50. It was people much younger than me. And usually I go Thursday nights because there's not many people there. And if I have to go see a new movie on Saturday, it's going to be a younger crowd. And they just, like, I curate my experience where I'm zoned in. I don't eat, same thing, like, I don't want to, I just want to focus on the movie. I want it to control me. And that's not the case. People are jumping seats, talk, whatever, You could have heard a pin drop in the theater. Like, a full theater filled with mostly, 20-year-olds or whatever. And the movie also has one of the guys on the Horror Vision, Anthony, he'll refer to stuff like Don't Look Now or The Shining. He'll be like, 70s pacing, And I like 70s
There's nothing
pacing.
wrong with 70s
I
pacing.
love 70s
70s
pacing.
Dude, I love 70s pacing, right? But I don't expect a 20-year-old to necessarily who has been watching YouTube for most of their life, you know. But this kind of had 70s pacing. I mean, the character development, I was shocked because that's, you know, we had Iron Lung and Skinamarink, two movies where, like Skinamarink, I think that director's YouTube stuff is amazing, and I just first movie I've walked out of in I don't know how long. I was like, okay, you're just going to shoot the corner of the room. I'm gone. I keep meaning to give it another shot, but in Iron Lung, I just didn't care for it. But you know, it's like they're taking these like tone pieces, these visual tone pieces, and somebody's giving them money to make a film out of it, and I just don't think it works. And part of it is like the character thing, and Kelsey, I could definitely say I see what you're saying about some of the character stuff in Obsession, which is another, you know, YouTube to cinema kind of transfer. But with this, like, I really thought the character development was great. The scene with Clark and Mary when they're working through their play acting, I was like, holy shit! Like, I didn't expect it.
The mirror of it is where I was like, oh, this is brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, this is...
Yeah. Oh.
There were people in the theater that clapped. A whole row, at least. A whole group of people. When it was over, they clapped. And I was like, I haven't been in a movie where someone clapped in forever. Now, take this with a grain of salt. I do remember the last time it happened. It was the Power Ranger movie when they did, you know, they had the theme song, and I was like, hell yeah! And then I clapped as well. I will say when the Power Ranger theme came on. But I did not clap at the end. But I really loved Backrooms, so I was like, yeah, but I did not clap.
That's a common reaction.
I 100%. I think my final reaction. Oh, I have to mention the music to the Backrooms. So the music I thought was another layer of absolutely brilliant is we get in the movie the description that basically the Backrooms is remembering things, and every time it remembers worse. And that's why things appear the way they do. I thought as the movie went on, the music resembled traditional music less than at the beginning. It started to just be discordant, weird sounds that added to the atmosphere, like it was somebody who had been told what music is and they were trying to recreate it. And I was like, this is brilliant. I thought that was so good. And it's just a little touch. There is still a thread of like, okay, I recognize this as music, but for the most part, it was like, this makes no sense. And so I kind of want to go back and listen to the soundtrack to this film. If it is it even, I'll check Apple Music later. But I want to find out if it's there, because it was just a bizarre liminal space music that didn't make sense. So that was a weird one.
That's really interesting. So, okay, I first saw the YouTube stuff in like 2024. Some friends showed me it, and I struggled. Like, there was something about it. It reminded me of, in the 2000s, there was a musical movement called hauntology, and it was a lot of like people like Caretaker and so many artists, where they would take pre-existing stuff and kind of recycle it, and it's just kind of junk music, and recycle it and make something different from it. And it had a very haunted liminal quality to it, and most of it was based on Boards of Canada's music. I mean, I never saw any of these artists say I love Boards of Canada, but it just kind of, it's a through line. So I don't know if anybody knows Boards of Canada's music, but recently, like 2 weeks ago, I rewatched a bunch of the YouTube Backroom stuff, and I was like, oh my god, I get what this reminds me of. It looks like Boards of Canada sounds. There's all this analog equipment that doesn't quite work, and blah blah blah, snippets of vocal samples or whatever. And then Boards of Canada released their first album in 13 years on Friday, and this movie opened on Friday. I saw it Saturday, so I listened to the album Friday. I go see this Saturday. The song on the closing credits is Boards of Canada from the new record. And I was like, oh my god, it is an influence. Like, there's no doubt
Yeah.
it's an influence. It completely blew me away.
I have to check that out now. Message that in the group chat later because I'll forget Boards of Canada by the
Oh,
time
if you don't
we're
know them,
done.
oh, Tim, if you like liminals, they are the definition of liminal.
Oh,
Like,
cool.
oh my God, it's
Yeah.
you'll be like, I've heard this before, but you haven't.
So
Check it out.
I think that covers Backrooms. I would say everybody should check it out. I would say honestly, make a double feature of it. Whether you start with Backrooms or start with Obsession, go see both movies. Go see them in theaters. They deserve the full screen experience. Both of them are very different types of horror, and you are gonna like one more than you like the other, guaranteed. But I think they're both great films to see. I can't wait to own both of them. I can't wait to show them to my siblings. I have a feeling they're gonna like Backrooms more than they like Obsession, but I don't know that yet. We'll see. But definitely check both of these movies out. Aaron, what did you think of Obsession?
Obsession, I thought it was great. It was darker than I expected, but I really enjoyed it. I liked it. I was thinking about it for days. Right? I don't know
Beautiful.
if you all said the same thing.
Yep, that was our consensus, is that
Wow.
even if we didn't like it initially, it stuck in our brain for so long that we came around to being like, it was brilliant. So,
And
yep.
yeah, and the more you think about the main character, Bear, and his inaction, he doesn't do anything to stop anything. It
Yeah.
just makes me angry thinking about it.
Yeah.
Spineless coward.
Like the scene in the van. My God, you could have done something. But I'll definitely watch it again. I don't know if it'll be a comfort film for me, but
No, it will not be a comfort film for anyone ever.
I'll watch it again. Yeah.
I don't think it's
Sit back and watch Obsession tonight.
typically if I think of comfort films for horror, I go to slashers. Slashers are the comfort zone for me.
They're goofy. and
Yes.
fun.
They're the I put on Friday the 13th all the time, just any of them. Typically 6th.
Or Giallo.
Oh yeah.
Giallos.
Or Giallo. Yes.
No,
Yeah. I got that.
It's almost
Jason Lives
summer.
is my go-to, so that's my
Same.
comfort film.
Yeah.
Sleepaway
Yep.
Camp Slasher season is almost here.
Not to jump ahead in our schedule, but Jonathan and I at The Average are starting our summer camp slasher series. In a week, we kick it off. I think Sean, you're joining us to talk about The Burning,
yeah.
Hell yeah.
and then we're talking about the first 3 sleepaway camp movies, and I think Jessica's joining us for all 3 of those.
Oh, okay. I was like, why haven't I been asked?
No,
I
you
guess I was, and I
already.
completely forgot about it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
you
think-
already chimed in.
You said that, and I was like, if you don't, I think I said that if you didn't invite me on for sleepaway camp, I would turn into the Joker.
Yes, we will have you on to talk all 3 sleepaway camp films because it is our summer camp slasher series, and I can't wait because that is my favorite niche of horror. That's summer camp slashers. Love them. All right. Anyways, so that covers. We talked Obsession. We talked Backrooms at length. We are an hour and almost 40 minutes into this. So how do we feel about skipping the trailers panel? Because honestly, there were no trailers that really floored me this month.
Excuse me, there is one.
Do
Camp
we-
Miasma. That's
Yes.
the one.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
Okay.
the one.
That's the one we watched?
Yes. I demand
don't-
it.
I don't watch trailers until we get to this, so I just didn't see anybody talking about it. So Camp Miasma trailer. Let me pull this up.
I've never heard of it.
It's
Yeah.
Jane Schoenbrunn.
yeah. It did I saw the TV Glow, and we're all going to the World's Fair.
Is
They
it a
tweeted
summer?
about this movie that like the day after I saw the TV Glow came out, and I have been excited about it ever since.
Is it a summer camp?
Oh yeah. I think
Is
it's
it a
called
summer-
Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
It's got a
yes.
long title.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so we'll watch this one. This will be our trailer reaction for this one, and then Aaron, will you be ready to do your this or that?
This or that.
Yeah, I can do a few of them. I got
We're gonna get into some debates and make some enemies. Okay.
Out here, there are certain nights when you just get this feeling that some psycho killer is gonna chop you up into a million little pieces. Oh, I like that feeling.
I don't want to make another dumb sequel and the can't be.
Okay, already the cinematography is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I just have to pause it and I want to go back. I love it. Sorry.
Awesome.
So good.
I don't want to make another dumb sequel in the Can't Be Asthma franchise. I don't want to make a remake of a remake of a remake. I want to make something that feels fresh and new.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
She's clearly the same person from Miasma 1, the final girl, but she's so much more.
How did you choose to live at the abandoned sleepaway camp from the first film?
Someone's gotta be here when little Dad comes back.
Little Death isn't real.
Well, not with that attitude, he isn't. If you've seen his movies, you know he always comes back. I'm just thinking about what it's gonna feel like.
Losing your virginity?
No, dying.
Where is it that you kids think you're going?
Sex seems so easy for so many people, but I've never been able to get there with someone else unless I'm really far away in my head.
Can you feel it? It's rising to the surface now.
Where?
Oh, it's happening! It's happening!
Can't be asthma.
All right, Jessica. Tell us why you love that.
That just looks amazing.
Yes.
Anything that's a twist on a slasher, that's a twist on a slasher. We have not seen that before.
That's true.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm excited about it. Definitely going to see it.
I saw the TV glow bowled me
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
It was like especially by the end of the movie, it was just like a gut punch. That was another one that just lingered with me for days afterwards. And the soundtrack and cinematography, everything, I know that Jane Schoenbrun can just like create like an immersive cinematic horror experience. And the fact that it's now going to be a slasher is like, yes, please.
And Hannah Einbinder is fantastic.
Yes.
If people didn't watch Hacks, they need to.
So good.
I love having two resident slasher experts on. I'll be honest, it looked a little too surreal for me, but
Did you like I Saw the TV Glow?
I never saw I Saw the TV Glow.
It's surreal.
Oh.
It's definitely surreal.
It's surreal.
I need to see it. So
Yes.
I typically I hate dream sequences in movies. And
Same.
so like that surrealistic style is usually not something I love. And it looked like it towed the line on surrealism, but that doesn't mean I won't give it a chance. I will definitely give it a chance. It definitely, the trailer piqued my interest for sure, but it doesn't look like one that I'll instantly love. It might grow on me a little bit. So I know I'm getting roasted in the comments for not liking my surrealism. It's okay. It's okay.
I'll have a conversation with you later. We'll set you straight.
I know. Maybe I'll watch I Saw the TV Glow and then
That's what we'll have a
okay.
conversation about. Once you see that movie, you will understand James Schoenbrun, and you will appreciate everything.
Like it looks beautiful visually. It looks awesome. Yeah, just we'll see.
Go find the screen cap of all they had the VHS stack. Go find that screen cap and look at the names of the movies, and you will understand that this person knows what they are doing.
Judge me. Judge me.
No one's being silent. Everyone's yelling.
Yeah, my interest is piqued. I watched it. I'll watch it. I also liked the references in the trailer. So from the Friday the 13th style Camp Miasma posters, that was clever. Also, didn't they mention? Oh, they mentioned Sleepaway Camp. It's right there in the trailer. They mentioned Sleepaway Camp. So.
It's a perfect segue from your camp slasher.
Exactly. Summer Camp Slasher series, Sleepaway Camp. This one. When does this come out?
July, like 14th, I think, or something like that.
Okay. We might be able to get that at the end of our Summer Camp Slasher series. We'll see. We'll see. I'll talk to Jonathan. I will talk to Jonathan. All right. So we're approaching 2 hours. Let's head into our wrapping this up. We do have the physical releases that came out this month, so we did have, just to kind of cover them, we can go into it a little bit if we want, but Welcome to Derry Season 1 came out officially, Steelbook 4K. Aaron, did you pick up any of these, by the way?
I did get that one. The Steelbook. What else is on your list? And I can say yay or nay.
Uzumaki, Ginger Snaps, The Haunting, Terror Train.
No, I haven't gotten the other ones yet. I did get the Halloween Steelbook set from Imprint Films.
Okay.
The fancy one that was supposed to be a pumpkin.
Yeah.
Do you want me to get it?
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a pumpkin.
Well, it was supposed to be, and then they changed it. So
That's
more like the Nightmare on Elm Street Steelbook set.
Did they change it after you paid for it or before? Because
they did after. And they gave me a refund.
Oh, they gave you a refund. Okay.
So it's got some cool artwork.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, but like, is it as cool as a pumpkin though?
No, it's not.
I know.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Pumpkin.
Oh no. But,
Well, and the thing is,
I
I'd
still
already.
wouldn't, but you know.
They gave me like an $80 credit or something, a refund, and I'd already
Okay.
paid for it. So it's like it's my favorite franchise, so I had to.
It's
get
my
it.
favorite too, yeah.
So they changed the packaging and gave you a refund for it. I'll take that. I'll take that. But the
Still
pumpkin
great.
looks,
But
when
yeah.
they announced it, the pumpkin looked awesome.
Tim, you missed the biggest physical release of the month. I can't even believe it.
Which one was that?
The Dark Backward.
I don't. Sorry.
Nobody's gonna know what it is. I'm just gonna tell you, the movie is. If you think Bill Paxton is insane in any movie you've ever seen him in,
Yes.
you can multiply that by 10,000 for The Dark Backward. It is completely one of the most bizarre. It's not horror, but it is. There are so many moments in it that are horrific. It's unbelievable, and it finally hit Blu-ray. So.
I need to check that out. See, this is the one. So I watched this in preparation for this episode. I had never seen Ginger Snaps before.
I actually
Part
have
two's
not
better.
seen
Part
it
two's
either.
Wow.
Wow. It's so good.
I'm gonna be honest. I'd never seen Ginger Snaps before because the cover art for the movie sucked.
Yeah, it did.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's like, as a graphic designer, like it did not hook me. It did not suck me in. This art, I love. This art is fantastic. This art makes me want to watch the movie. So I did watch the movie. I almost turned it off in the first 90 seconds.
You have to stay with
Jessica,
it.
do you know why?
No,
Wait.
why? For which reason?
Dead dogs. No, thank you. I don't.
Oh, I forgot.
There is
about that
way too much animal violence in this
There's
film.
A lot of it, yeah.
There's a lot of dead dogs in this
Doesn't
movie.
that happen a lot in werewolf movies in general?
Yeah.
I think so, and that might be why they're not one of my favorite genres, but I do enjoy a good werewolf movie. But this one,
Second Sight edition. I don't know if anybody has this. It's
Hold
the
on,
trilogy
let
with
me-
all 3 films.
Oh yeah, I got that. Yeah.
You got this one too. Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know if
I
it's
don't-
4K though. Is it 4K?
I don't know about the transfer. When I watched that, Aaron, like I was a little disappointed because I didn't think it looked that different. I had them all on DVD. I didn't think it looked that different from the DVD, and I don't know if that's the source is just not great, or if they just didn't, scrub it.
Do you like the sequels? Let me ask you
I
that.
think the second one is absolutely amazing, and it's the biggest heartbreak because it's got a huge cliffhanger that I want to see the next part of, and then we just don't get it in 3.
No, 3 is like medieval times, right?
And it's got its charms, but when I'm like, dude, I want to see ghosts and her pet werewolf and what they do. Like, the ending of the second one is absolutely amazing to me.
Well, I'll have to check out number 2.
They're trying to turn it into a series.
Yeah.
Right now.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Bringing it back or rebooting it?
Probably redo it from the start. But Tatiana Maslany is now too old to play Ghost, so I don't know that it'll work anymore.
Yes.
But I will say,
Is that her name?
after wanting to turn it off in the first 90 seconds, I did enjoy the movie. So it was a good film. I did enjoy this movie.
Tim, am I ever wrong when I'm this adamant about something?
Jessica, you have not steered me incorrectly yet.
It took me 2 years to get him to watch Jennifer's Body. 2 years.
Jennifer's Body is a masterpiece of that movie.
Criminal.
The other one, Jessica, that I messaged you that I'm currently obsessed with is Heathers.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Heathers is a fantastic film. It is so good. I love Heathers. Yeah. So yeah, that's the other one that you have corrected me with.
Because Heathers is one of the greatest movies
Good
ever
work,
made. Throw in Jawbreaker, and that's like
Yes.
I did watch Jawbreaker because of you as well. So
See?
Yep, and Jawbreaker is good. I need to revisit it. I need to revisit it for sure. But Jawbreaker is a good one. But right now I'm currently on Heathers being one of the greatest films ever made. So, and then the other one we got this month is the Jamie Lee Curtis
Heck yeah.
Terror Train.
I love Terror Train.
I'll get that.
Yeah, that iconic little face made our thumbnail.
I know.
Somebody started to say something there.
I just said Terror Train is great.
Oh yeah.
And that's just one of many masks and costumes that the killer wears in the film, right?
Yeah. Yes. I meant to rewatch this one. I've seen it multiple times. So I meant to rewatch it before we got to this episode.
Is the unhinged train conductor. Yeah. Jamie Lee Curtis sees all these people die, and he comes up to her and says, "Stop freaking out! Stop it!" And he's like shaking her, like, "Dude, like leave her alone."
You gotta snap out of it.
He's like acting like she's like losing it and like, imagining this stuff happening. He's so mean. Get out of here, you train conductor, bitch ass. Anyway.
Also, like, how the hell can we have a party on a train? We need to have more train parties.
Yeah. The train is such a great setting for the film too. Like the framing of like the shots and stuff. It's really claustrophobic in a great way.
I love train settings. Murder on the Orient Express, love it. Except the ending. Never mind. The who done it aspect of it's disappointing. But yeah, the part what?
There is a lot of David Copperfield in it for sure.
Well,
the magician.
The Terror Train part of this, having a party on a train, how is that practical? Who thought of, like, where are you going?
I mean, it reminds me of Friday the 13th Part 8, where the Crystal Lake high schoolers take like a freight ship cruise to Manhattan from the lake. I've seen your trips of these kids taken.
As that is my least favorite, but also super enjoyable Friday. I don't like Friday the 13th. That one I think is just like a tremendous amount of fun.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Yes, it's a tremendous amount of fun. But I'm just thinking, like, I've looked up taking trains to other parts of the country, and it's like a 4-day trip. So are these guys taking, because I'm in Indiana, are they taking like the train from the South Shore to Chicago, which is like a 2-hour trip, but then also you don't get all the cars that we see with beds. It's just the logistics of this are a little bit loose, but it's still a great time watching the movie.
Mm-hmm. I have to give a quick shout out to a movie I've just discovered, and that is Bloodsuckers from Outer Space.
Well,
from
Aaron,
1984.
Aaron, you are transitioning us then into the under the radar picks portion where we close this out. So go ahead, start us out.
Has anyone here seen Bloodsuckers from Outer Space? Oh my God, it's so funny. The writing in it, I was cracking up the whole time. It's very B level. I think kind of a video shot on video film, and this is a Vinegar Syndrome edition. So if you haven't seen it, look up Bloodsuckers from Outer Space from 1984.
I wrote
And
it
the
down.
title, it's everything you would expect with a title like that. Plus, how
That looks
fun is it
fantastic.
being Bloodsuckers from Outer Space.
Your posts about it definitely. I think you posted like a scene from it with the two scientists or something like that.
Yeah, was it the
did
weirdo?
Or did you send it in our
story
chat?
Maybe it was in the chat. It was something, but it was two people in lab coats, and I don't remember what it was now. But I was like, "What is this?" And
The janitor's like, they're all weirdos, and the weirdos are
Yes!
having kids, and they're growing up to be weirdos.
Yes!
There are too many weirdos out there. And they're like, then the doctors, they're talking to a janitor. They're like, well, thanks, Walter. Have a good day. And then he's like, you're all weirdos. And it's like, what in the hell?
I want to watch it now just from that. So
It's so good. I was like, how have I not seen this movie before? Yeah, you've got to check it out.
All
I have
right,
a few other
remind it
clips.
one more time.
I'll share some
Title.
of the clips. Bloodsuckers from Outer Space.
Okay, that looks fantastic. Checking that out. All right, who's next on the under the radar picks for the month? Yeah, Sharky Gal, I'm with you. Immediately sold. I was sold
I know,
on title.
right?
I was sold on title. Bloodsuckers from Outer Space. Sign me up.
I'll go next if you want, Tim.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sad I missed last month because we talked about Fatally
God.
Yours. Sorry, Jessica. Deal with it. I'm talking about it. Anyway, I finished this in the early part of the month and I loved it. I used the audiobook. Fantastic narration.
The audiobook is nuts.
It is. It's so
The audiobook
good.
is nuts.
It's so good. Anyway, I highly recommend the audiobook. Totally knocked it out of the park yet again. I didn't notice too many changes from the original, Mother Dear, but I still loved it just as much as the first time when I read it when it was Mother Dear. So kudos, anyone who hasn't picked this up yet. Come on, you're gonna miss out. You gotta pick it up. I highly recommend. It's true. It's true. I do recommend the audiobook. It's on Everand, on Audible. You could get it everywhere.
I think it's the funniest book of the year.
It's really great. It's like
Katie Rose sounds like a Disney princess, so it's like a Disney princess murdering people. It's fantastic.
It's awesome.
I think it's hilarious. It's so good. Who's next?
I'll do one.
Well,
I got one I
Yeah, go
didn't
ahead.
like. I got one I didn't like, but I think other people might.
Okay.
It's called The Lure. It's a Polish film from 2015.
Oh, I know it.
What? I
it's
love
great.
the
I've been
lure.
wanting to watch that.
I
for
did
so
not
long.
like
Yeah.
it. It was not for me, but I
Oh.
felt somebody would like it, so I thought I would mention it.
I love that movie
It's-
so much.
It's two mermaids in a cabaret, and they're kind of slutty in a European way, and they just
There's a lot of singing too, right?
I was on board for the singing. I love whenever people just start bursting out into song for no reason. It's great. One of my biggest pet peeves was that their tails were ugly. I need mermaids. I need the razzle dazzle. I need nice tails.
That's
were
what
brown.
I liked. I was
It
like,
should
this
sparkle.
dude-
Oh, I
Beauty.
didn't like it at all. I thought because the rest of the movie had some color to it and it was kind of pretty, and I thought maybe, but if the idea of the Little Mermaid being retold in a Polish cabaret speaks to you, this might be the movie for you.
You said all the right words.
Jessica, I love
In
that your
summary.
plug is I didn't like this movie, but someone
Someone will like it.
I loved it. Go see it.
Yeah.
I'm dying at this comment.
yeah.
I think there's a
Sounds
nice
good.
Criterion edition of it if you like Criterion releases.
All right, Elise
I
and
guess
Tony,
we
you
can
start.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have a particular hidden gem that we want to talk about, but we need help from the
Yeah,
panel because
into the poll.
right now our podcast is stuck in the year 1990.
So, Kelsey, we thought of you when we did this. We're getting deep into 1990.
And we're kind of like going through the 90s, and we're in the year 1990 in our podcast. And we do an episode style called Guess the Ending. So we're always looking for hidden gems to watch half of the movie and then try to guess what's going to happen in the second half of the movie, and that's one of our episode formats.
And so we picked up a couple physical copies, and so we want to like, if anyone has seen these, or if you like recommend but don't like say the ending,
or don't say anything past the second half.
Yeah,
just say recommend or not recommend.
I was gonna say go see Backrooms, walk out halfway through. Do guess the ending. We're back.
But that's not for 1990. We need so we have this list, and we'll just read off this list real quick, and then if anyone wants to like toss in, yes, you should do that one, then we will cover that one.
So we picked up Mom, Graveyard Shift, Pacific, and Pacific Heights.
Graveyard Shift, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Graveyard Shift for sure.
Yes,
Okay.
it's so bad. It's so amazingly bad. Great. Yeah.
We love movies like that. These are all also specifically movies that we have not seen from 1990.
Like they just evaded us, and so like for whatever reason we didn't see them.
Yeah,
but
there's another one. Yeah, Brain Dead is on our list.
Absolutely.
Brain Dead, not Dead Alive.
Yeah,
Brain
not Dead Alive, right? Yeah.
Yeah, not Dead Alive. The one with like Bill Pullman
and Bill Paxton.
Yeah, Bill's. Yeah.
It's fantastic. You have to do
and
that
then we were also looking at.
But I feel like we should like, because we're so disorganized, and that's why we're trying to get organized and like have like one like narrow train of thought, and that's why we're like gonna get stuck in 1990 for as long as we can. So out of the ones that we own currently, what do you guys think as far as Graveyard Shift, Mom, Brain Dead, and Pacific Heights?
Graveyard Shift for me. That's what
Graveyard Shift and
Apple.
Brain Dead.
Cinematic, you'll see. It's not a spoiler.
Okay.
It's not the second half. Go ahead.
Thank you.
I'm a big fan. I just rewatched Pacific Heights recently. It's a 90s thriller, and
It's a thriller, yeah.
We love 90s thrillers too.
I actually love you.
I think you'll like it.
Okay, because I've been like my interest has been piqued about Pacific Heights for a while, and I'm glad that you mentioned it. Okay.
Yeah, it's a fun, very much in the vein of like Hand That Rocks the Cradle type 90s thrillers. But as far as like guessing what happens in the second half, I don't know how unexpected things.
Yeah, that's a good
go.
point, Brian.
Yeah,
that's a very good point.
Yeah, that happens sometimes in our episodes where we've never really like knocked anything out of the park that well.
Yeah.
And we make some pretty outlandish guesses, but just to keep it fun.
Yeah, we started with Ghoulies doing this, and we were way off.
Yeah.
Who would be right?
Yeah, who could guess the end of that movie? No, there's no one.
I just Googled 1990s horror movies and saw Jacob's Ladder was 1990, but I assume you've seen that because that would be a hilarious one to not know where it's going.
Exactly, yeah. I actually saw that when I was a kid, and yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. There's a few on there that we saw sort of as a kid, and then we're like, all right, we need to go back and rewatch this one. And Elisa's like, I remember watching Jacob's Ladder and just not liking it, like flat out not liking it. So we kind of
maybe I have
mixed
to
it for a
rewatch it, but
yeah.
as a kid, I hated it.
Rewatch
And
it.
one of my other like all-time favorites from 1990 is Flatliners.
I was
And we
just going to
picked
say
up
that
a-
one.
Yeah, we just picked up a copy of that as well. So yeah, we were at Amoeba Records today, and we were just going hog wild on 90s.
Coursing through 1990.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if you want to join us to cover Jacob's Ladder on our show, we were supposed to last year, and our guest backed out. So
that would be perfect. 'Cause then that would force Elise to have to rewatch it.
You don't
yeah. No, I don't want. We celebrate how people see movies differently. That's our thing.
No, you mean hashtag watched it wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the room of this, this broadcast for today.
Yes. All right.
Okay,
So
that's pretty
what's
much all
the
we have.
decision?
Thank you so much for your input. We
We'll toss a
appreciate
coin
it.
between Graveyard Shift and Pacific Heights.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sold.
I don't dismiss Brain Dead. I'll
And Brain Dead.
We own Brain Dead. We've been sitting on it for quite a while because we'll buy these movies and we're like, okay, we know this one will be a good for a guess the ending, and then we just like sit on them because we're like waiting to do the episode.
gotta be
And I'm like,
special.
I just want to watch it. Can we just watch it and not do the episode?
I'm the one that will not let us watch it because I want it to be a moment.
So yeah.
You can only watch that for the first time once.
I guess I can understand that.
Yeah.
All right, who's got the next under the radar pick? Jillian, Sean, me. Okay, I'll go. I'll fill the silence. It is not horror. I mentioned it in the chat. It's got horror elements. Nick Cage playing Spider-Man in Spider Noir. I'm watching it in black and white, which is beautiful, but it actually leans into body horror elements later on. You got to get about 4 episodes in, but you start to find out that like all of these traditional heroes that we know from Spider-Man were results of genetic experiments that the Nazis were doing in World War I. And so there's like man spider hybrids that show up later, and they're kind of freaky. And it's not full on horror, but it's got some of those body horror elements. There's some stuff about Nick Cage that we find out later on. Basically, his entire performance is him playing a spider pretending to be a human.
Oh wow!
Amazing! I gotta see this.
It's so unique. It's not full on horror. It's got some horror elements, like even some of the transitions of like Sandman, if we remember Spider-Man 3 from Tobey Maguire back when. It is a little bit more body horror twist on Sandman. So there's it's a lot of fun. It's not full on horror. As the horror stuff from this year, go see Obsessions and Backrooms in theaters. That's my big thing. But on Prime Video, Spider Noir, Nick Cage is hamming it up. He is fantastic. He's never done a TV series before, as far as from the interviews. So this is 8 episodes, 8 50-minute episodes of him playing the same character, and he really approached it differently than how he approaches a lot of things. I think he's killing it. I haven't finished it yet, so I don't know if like the horror elements were the 1 or 2 episodes that I saw, but it's definitely a really fun, different thing. If you like Nick Cage, it is 100% worth watching him play an aged superhero. And he plays it, he said in an interview, he plays it 70% Humphrey Bogart, 30% Bugs Bunny.
Oh my God.
And it is absolutely that. So I've been loving that. I was raised on black and white movies, so I love watching the black and white version. But it's got some body horror elements in there, so I'm going to slip it in on my recommended for that. Jillian and Sean.
Go.
Okay.
It came out in April, but I wasn't here in April, so I'm gonna mention it for May, and I watched it in May. But Loner came out on Found TV, found footage horror. So good. I really enjoyed it. It's definitely a slow burn. It's set in the woods at a cabin, which we have seen many a time in found footage horror, but I really liked that it had this kind of like ancient evil aspect to the movie that you don't always get to see in those sorts of movies. So it was a really fun one. You can watch it on Found TV still, which is free if you watch it with ads, or you can pay to watch it without ads. But if you're a found footage fan, definitely check that one out.
All right.
It's so good. I loved it. And you can get a Blu-ray copy of it, Movie Zing, ZYNG, moviezing.com if you want a Blu-ray copy of it. And I interviewed the 2 directors. I'm with you, Jillian. It's so good. I loved it.
Oh, I didn't see your interview. I'll have to watch. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Perfect for summer camping.
And it's funny and scary, and what a dark ending. So I would definitely check it out.
I think the ending truly is like what makes me like the movie so much more. Like it was a good movie, and the ending you're just like, oh yeah.
And some unexpected body horror in the final act. So definitely check it out.
Yeah, for sure.
Good shout there.
Sean?
Mine was The Dark Backward. I just again not really horror, but absolutely horrific. And Judd Nelson is. It's like him and Bill Paxton are buddies, and they're garbage men in like It's like a world where garbage is everywhere, and this company called Blimps makes everything from squeezable bacon to appliances.
Squeezable bacon?
Yeah, and like there's just
disgusting.
garbage everywhere, and Judd Nelson is like he's trying to do stand-up and he's awful. And he starts to grow a third arm out of the center of his back, and then Wayne Newton shows up as an agent and he's like, promise him stardom. It's you just have to see it to believe. It is just, there's no way to even explain it. It's just so bizarre, and I don't know. It's amazing.
And I just looked it up. It's made in 1991, so that's one for next year, according to our podcast.
Okay, Brian, I know I'm putting you on the spot. Did you have any under the radar things from this month that you think people should check out?
It's something that I watched this month.
Yeah, that counts.
It's a movie called Pool or Swimming Pool from the year 2001, and it is a German slasher film starring James McAvoy and Isla Fisher, set in an abandoned indoor swimming park. Why can't my water park? Shot in Prague. It is. All of these elements, it sounds like a Mad Lib, but it exists. I'm curious if any of the collectors have a copy, because I remember seeing it at Blockbuster and it had a terrible cover. But if you like slashers, if you're open to, a 2001, very 2001, like the music, the clothes, like everything about it. Young James McAvoy. I found it very entertaining and way better than a lot of the like direct-to-DVD slashers of that era. So, it's called either Pool or Swimming Pool, the 2001 one, because there's another one called The Pool that I think is about a guy getting trapped with an alligator in a pool. Yeah, that's the one. John.
This is a terrible cover.
That's
You're not kidding.
It's awful.
This is a keep going, don't stop cover.
It was the post Scream era where they were like, let's just put everybody's faces on the cover.
Is the girl in front even like a main character, or did they just put her there because of the bikini? Like,
they all kind of blend together. I'm going to be honest. The characters.
That's a cover that's the same kind of poster that kept me away from watching the brilliant movie that is The Faculty for so long. Because it had a terrible poster. Brian, I'm 100% sold because I was a competitive swimmer, so swimming pool stuff, love it.
Listen,
love
keep your expectations low.
Hey, Jessica, am I allowed to say anything yet?
Look at the trailer.
Jessica, have you seen this movie?
I have not seen this movie.
Jessica, it sounds like you need to see this movie.
It's streaming everywhere, even on Tubi.
Perhaps I will.
It's on Tubi?
Yeah, according to IMDb.
Yes, Tubi is the goat of streaming services.
If you found it on Tubi, it wasn't there like 3 weeks ago, so that's good to know.
I'm just looking at the IMDb page,
Find it
and
on
it's listed.
IMDb. Is it called Swimming Pool?
It's called The Pool, 2001.
I had to found like a YouTube link in a Reddit thread where people were like, "How can I find this movie? It's nowhere."
How did you hear about it?
That's a good question. I can't remember how
the Reddit thread
on my radar. Yeah, I think I must have been in some kind of slasher rabbit hole and it popped up. Or I just had a fever dream and it doesn't really exist. Which
I mean, it's on IMDb, so that's a pretty powerful dream.
Yeah.
Yes.
Manifested it. That's definitely going on my radar. I need to check it out. So thank you for that, Brian.
Yeah, and I don't see it on Tubi, so I think IMDb is wrong.
IMDb lies.
Yep.
False. All right. Well, in that case, we'll go around. I'll start at the top with Brian, and we'll work our way down our little slide here. Say what you've got coming up this month, where people can find you, give your plugs, all that information. This episode went exactly how I thought it would. I thought we could probably fill almost 2 hours talking about Obsession and Backrooms, and we were pretty close. So, and Brian, it was awesome having you with us. Thank you so much. So, Brian, plug yourself, tell people where they can find you, all that good stuff.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so fun.
Yes.
If you follow me at Brian McWriter on Instagram, you'll see what I'm up to these days. But I've got Breathe and Bleed Out is out now, which is a slasher book set at a wellness retreat in Joshua Tree. My next book is a slasher set at a Renaissance fair, and that's called Fairly Bad Ways to Die. And then got more books, Curse the Reaper, Candy Cane Kills. And then I will be doing some events coming up. I'm going to StokerCon in Pittsburgh next weekend in June. In July, I'll be doing an event at Thriller-delphia in Philadelphia, which is a horror thriller-themed bookstore. September, I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. October, I'm in New Mexico. So, yeah, follow me if you want to come to a horror book event or check out my books in the meantime. But, yeah, thank you for having me.
We are so glad you were able to join us, willing to join us. It was awesome. Thank you so much. All right. And then, Kelsey, you're up next.
Oh, we're going across. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so I'm going off what's on my screen. I don't know what's on yours.
Well, no, you went down, and I thought you meant like
Okay.
vertically. Anyway, doesn't matter. I am Kelsey. I am silly. I am unhinged. So if you like that energy, follow me. I don't know. Anyway, Kelsey's Nostalgic Life on YouTube, formerly Slime and Slashers. Anyway, I'm on Instagram at SuperKickingIt. I usually hate the summer. It's hot as hell. I live in Louisiana, so it's like, this summer is going to be crazy for me, and my content is going to be surrounding this. So I am moving from Louisiana this summer to Minnesota. It's like the most extreme move, one of the most extreme moves you could do, and I'm vlogging the experience. So the second vlog is coming out hopefully Tuesday, and then I'll be continuing to like document the journey. I have 3,000 books. I'll be like documenting the cataloging and the packing of said books. And so if you want to go on the journey with me, that's what you can expect all summer long. But I don't want to bury this, because if you like giallo movies, or if you like giallo actually originated as books back in Italy, but if you like either or both of those, I would check out the event coming up, Giallo July. And this Sunday, I plan on tier ranking, releasing a tier ranking of every Giallo movie I've ever watched. And that is in honor of the Giallo July announcement video. It's run by my friend Alex the Bookubus. Go over, check out her channel at the Bookubus on YouTube. I'm a co-host. It's a great time. It's July. So moving, and then lots of giallo, and I also will be fitting in slashers. So slasher reads, slasher watches, but giallo watches like all the way for July. So yeah, if you like any of that stuff, please check out my channel. That's it.
All right. Do check out our channel. It's great stuff. You stay on top of it way more than we do. So I love it. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you.
Yep. Jessica, what have you got going on this month?
Kelsey already showed you what I had going on this month. Anybody who wants to follow me, I'm Glenn Lacey on Instagram. Fatally Yours and Taste Like Candy are available now. Taste Like Candy 2 is coming September 22nd, and that book almost killed me, so people better read it.
It's so fucking good. Sorry, not to raise expectations, but I loved it.
I can't wait to read it.
Yes.
Can't wait.
Thank you.
All right, Elise and Tony.
Well, we kind of already said that. We already plugged ourselves.
Yeah, so we're Gutted Horror Podcast. You can find us on YouTube and anywhere where you get audio versions of podcasts. So just search for Gutted Horror Podcast. And our main social media is on Instagram. So at Gutted Horror Podcast. We are, like we said before, we are exploring the year 1990 currently.
Because it's like the decade where we were the most cognizant as like horror viewers, and we're just gonna, in a very organized way, kind of going against our nature, we're gonna course through these years in the year the decade 1990.
And so our latest release, we kind of did an intro, best of the year 1990, the horror movies that made us. It's in 3 parts, so there's a little bit of just general nostalgia, and then we talk about horror movies that we saw in the 90s, so when we were kids, and when we remember in our experiences of horror movies as kids. And then we talk about horror movies that we saw later as adults that were from the year 1990, and there's some heavy hitters in there. There's some really good ones. We don't go super into detail, but we just kind of mention these gems.
And now we're gonna lead with the movies that evaded us completely, such as Brain Dead and Graveyard Shift and Pacific Heights.
Yeah, so just the hidden gems.
Hidden gems.
Yes. Yeah. And that's where we're at, and we'll have one of the episodes the next episode will be one of the movies that you guys voted on just now.
Yeah.
So it'll either be Graveyard
Thank you.
Shift or Brain Dead. Well, we'll probably do both. We will do both of them.
We'll do
eventually,
all of
but
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
I love it. Next is me. I already mentioned it though, is we're doing our summer camp slasher series over on The Average, and we're kicking it off with The Burning. Then we're doing the first 3 sleepaway camp films. The thing we do at The Average that's a little different is we want audience interaction. So the more people who get involved, the more fun the episode is. Hanging out in the chat, we do it live. But we have the turnoff is we have like a 9-point scorecard for like rate the music, rate the direction, rate the acting, whatever. We do all that and we talk about each one, kind of highlighting, okay, the performances were great. The music was great. We highlight each, try to give it its due, and then we come together with a score out of 5 stars, and that's what we do. But the more people get involved, the better the actual average is and the result of the review. So it's a ton of fun, but you can catch the Burning episode with Sean from the Horror Vision right here beneath me. He's going to be joining us for that first one, as well as another guest who has been on the Dread broadcast before. I'm still waiting on confirmation from, we got a lot of people signed up for the Summer Camp Slashers, so I'm excited for that one. But that will be coming up in, I think, like a week and a half. So that's what we've got going on. Aaron, take it away.
Over to me. Yes.
Yes.
Let's see. Aaron here, A&B Horror Movies. You can also find me on Instagram at Aaron's Movies 8587, where I geek out about physical media. I've got a bunch of videos recorded, but I just wanted to highlight a couple of the ones coming up this week. I will be posting my interview with Damian McCarthy. We talked all about Hokum, so that's coming up next. I also sat down with the 2 young up-and-coming directors for Monkey's Magic Merry-Go-Round, which was an absolute crazy film. If you haven't seen it, check it out. And that was Aidan Leary and C.R. Thompson. Next Sunday, I'm doing a folk horror live stream. I've got horror author Matt Forget coming back on, horror author and actor Brandon Paris Sanchez joining again, and our guest is Roger Connors, who directed Meat, if you haven't seen Meat. And those are my updates. So again, A&B Horror Movies and Aaron's Movies 8587.
Hey, you
Thanks for having me.
so prolific, Aaron. You're welcome. we love having you. I think you've been on all but 2 episodes in the year. You've been on 10 months out of 12. We love having you, Aaron. So
And I
always
almost missed tonight, but I had booked an interview with Blood and Lust with the director and the 2 lead actors. So, but I'm here.
Nice.
I made it work.
we understand. I'm glad you were still able to make it. All right, Jillian, what have you got coming up?
I don't have too much planned. I am super behind on a lot of horror movies, I feel like. So this month I will just be catching up and posting my movie reviews. So if you are also very behind, we can catch up together this summer. You can follow me mostly everywhere at Rated Horror.
Hey, awesome. And then Sean.
So
take it away.
Horror Vision. Our Backrooms episode is up now, spoiler free. But as we talked about earlier, I don't really know that you can spoil it.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, we've been covering the new season of The Terror, which is an adaptation of Victor LaValle's brilliant novel, The Devil in Silver. That'll go up tomorrow. We are planning. So with a lot of the talk about liminal horror is like a subgenre now. We're planning an episode where we're going to really dig into that, because I think there are a ton of examples of that from like years ago. And I don't want it. It's already starting to seem to me like it to some people that means YouTube horror. And I think that would be a shame if that's, what happens. Because Tim, like you, liminal is just like a large part of my vibe. And, I really want to dig into that, and so kind of talk about the music that goes with it too, and all the influences. So that's going to be one coming up in the next couple weeks, and then my novel Black Gloves and Broken Hearts, that's everywhere. I'm getting a lot of pictures popping up in bookshops all over, so that makes me super happy. Totally independent.
That's awesome.
And yeah, that's really it. Just again, I love being here with you guys. It's amazing.
We love having you. Seriously, thank you, everybody on the panel. Brian, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
I love having the regular group of panelists. Genuinely, I tell you every month, but genuinely love having you with us. And I'm honored and blessed every day that you're willing to be a part of this little experiment I started a year ago. So that wraps it up for our 1-year anniversary roundtable. Huge thank you to everyone hanging out in the live chat tonight. To those of you who have been with us since day one, and to the new faces who just found the stream. You all make doing this the highlight of our month. Massive shout out to the incredible panel, Aaron, Sean, Kelsey, Jillian, Elise, Tony, and Jessica. Go check them out. Go pick up your copy of Jessica's Fatally Yours, and go pick up Brian's Breathe In, Bleed Out, or my favorite, Curse the Reaper, right now, and keep supporting the genre. And of course, a huge thank you to our special guest, Brian, for celebrating 1 year of the broadcast with us tonight.
Congratulations. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. So looking back at this past year of experimentation, trial and error, and figuring things out, it really makes me think about where we go from here. Heading into year 2, I want to say something I've never said this out loud. And it's been in my brain for so long. I'm scared to say it out loud. But the dream, guys, the dream for me is to turn this into a summer camp. So I mentioned summer camp slashers are my favorite. The dream someday down the road would be to throw a weekend summer camp horror convention for creators like this to get exclusive screeners, talk to authors, just connect with the horror community from Friday night to Sunday morning at a summer camp, because I love that. I love that niche. Just hang out. That would be the dream. That would be the dream.
I've had that dream too, but I'm on board with your dream. Like I'll go to your summer camp.
Like I want to do horror summer camp for creators where we can watch Friday the 13th on a big screen in a pavilion at an actual summer camp and have a great time. But then we can also have like the director come and hang out and talk to us. And that's the dream. Or not just Friday the 13th, but the up and coming people in the indie horror community who are doing great things with those movies. So that is the ultimate dream. I have never said that out loud before. It's been in my head since I visited an actual summer camp years ago and saw it and started picturing it. And I was like, yes, I love this. So there, I have put it out into the world. I have spoken it and it's out there now. So that would be the ultimate dream.
I'm down.
So
Yes.
all right, but do not go too far. This isn't the last you'll see of Brian on the channel. Coming up later this month, we are going to sit down for a full-length Under the Knife special with Brian himself. We are going to be deep diving into his books, his process, how he approaches screenwriting versus book writing, all of that. You're not going to want to miss it. So most of us, if not all of us, will be there for that. So hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the stream before you head out. Until next time, stay spooky, keep buying those physical media releases, and keep supporting the genre. Good night, everyone.